Well, hello there. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, everybody, depending on what time it is where you are. I'd like to thank Librarian21 London with a 10-month reset. Thanks for all the positivity, WoW updates in 2021. Good luck on your adventures in 2022. Thank you. And Make Yourself with a 16-month reset. Hope Canada's treating you well. Very well. Thank you very much. I discovered two things recently. The first being, well, three things. The first thing being that I apparently did not have all of the scouting map toys because I had some thought about, Zandalar wormholing and then flight pathing myself. I guess I could just do it now. And then flight pathing myself over to a Pet Charm World quest. But then I thought, I probably don't have the flight path in this character. And then I thought, I bet there's a scouting map for that. And then I found out I didn't have it yet. And then when I discovered that, it turns out apparently I don't have the Pandaria achievement, the Explorer achievement that you need. I guess I could just fly right there. Apparently I don't have the Explorer achievement that I need to get the Pandaria one. Anyways, that was one thing. The second thing was that there are very good Pet Charm World quests today. There's this one 19 Charm one in Voldoon. I almost called it Voldum. The zones are all blending together. There's a 19 Charm one in Voldoon. There's 3 Pet Charm World quests in Shadowlands zones. And I am close-ish. I don't know if I'm get it done in 2 hours close, but I have 9,239. I did a few more world quests yesterday. And I feel like if I just slam this, then I can get within range. Like there's enough quests today to get it done if I was dedicated enough. I bet. I haven't done the math, but feels like the numbers might check out. And then the third thing I've learned today is that today's Wordle is kicking my butt. I'm like partway through it, so I might pull that up again to keep going. I haven't beaten it yet. I have 2 guesses left, and it's you'll see if you have done it already for yourself and you stay for that section. You'll see it's a bit rough. Do I feel dedicated enough to do this today? Maybe. Maybe. The problem is that if I don't succeed today, then my punishment for my lack of dedication is just to succeed tomorrow or Tuesday or whatever. There's really no rush. It's not like there's a deadline on this one. It's just that I'm so close. Eli, thank you for the 5-month reset. You will get it today. What do we need? 7,061 pet charms, something like that. Or no, 7,761 pet charms. Math. And then you do them like roughly 18 to 20 at a time. It'll take a little bit. If I could give you 300 pet charms out of my 2K, I would. Yeah, that's all right. We'll scrape it together. It'll be worth it. I love Wordle. I lost to it today. I'm gonna do one pet quest, and then I think I'm gonna tab back to it because I just need. The problem is that it's gonna kill my pet charms per hour because I feel like I'm gonna stare at this Wordle for a while because I'm playing on hard mode where you have to use your clues. And right now I have 3 letters of the 5, and they're the right letters in the right spots. But they have managed to rule out words that I know. I'm staring at it and I'm thinking, is this a real word? So we'll work on that. Good time of day of your choice, everyone. Hello, Nick. Extended stream confirmed. I mean, maybe. The problem is that I don't know if I'll be going all that quickly. I have a very sad story. I was playing games last night and I checked Wowhead. I've become quite accustomed to pulling up Wowhead and looking at the upcoming Tormentors of Torghast, because at this point in my life, I only need 3 more of them to get my achievement and therefore my mount. And one of them was going to be up last night at 1 a.m. And I'm like, man, 1 a.m.'s kind of spicy, but I was going to, I ended up napping for a while. I slept from like 4:30 to almost 7, which was a bit of a late nap. So I figured I'd be up anyway. And I set a reminder for it. And then I've taken great lengths in my life to make sure that my phone doesn't wake me up at night. And I may have done that to too great of an extent because while my reminder went off, the notification was silenced because it was nighttime. So I forgot, even though I was awake. Can confirm today's Wordle is a hard but valid word. English word? Am I gonna emote only while I do Wordle? I just minimize the chat. I just tab over to my UI here and I just close the chat window for a minute. Yeah, just to avoid any spoilers or hints or well-meaning assistance. It may beat me today. It may get me. Man. Now this quest, the trouble with this one is this is not a fast. How many turns are we on? Round 15, 16, like a 15, 16 round pet battle. So that's gonna take a minute. Interesting. I'm gonna go back to Revendreth because there's a quest over there. I am going to take a minute to do, or to try and finish, to either succeed or lose to this Wordle. So if you are avoiding spoilers on today, January the 9th Wordle, I would advise you to close the stream now and come back in a few minutes. You won't miss anything, and we're just pet charm farming. Because there will be spoilers on the screen because I'm gonna do the Wordle. So this is your Wordle warning. That I'm partway through, but I'm kind of stuck. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn chat off for the moment, and I'm gonna just take a look at this because it's gonna drive me crazy. All right. Okay. This is where I'm at. I don't know why I've done this. This one was risky because I was like, why would I guess a word that has a double letter in it? And then I'm like, but what if that's the word? And then it was not the word, and now I'm in a tough kind of spot. Anna Luch, thank you for the 24-month resub. Happy 2 years. Short of it being, oh, I thought of another one, but it's another double letter one. And I want to guess a word that has 2 letters, different letters, in these 2 remaining spots. But kind of hard, you know what I mean? Especially given the letters that I have remaining to me, because I've guessed a good chunk of the common ones. I don't want to waste one of my last 2 remaining guesses on just one letter, but I want to incorporate it in my next guess. So I'm trying to think of a word that uses that letter plus one other one that is a real word, and it might not exist. It might not be a thing. Do I just have to do it? I'm going to regret it if I just do it, though. Unless it's the word. But that's what I thought with this one, and then it was not the word. That guess got me nowhere. I'm making an assumption that feels true, but it might be a fallacy, that there are no further vowels beyond the ones I've already discovered. And I don't know if that's true. I guess I should guess the only word that I've thought of so far, even if it is another double. If it's not the word, though, all I will have done is ruled out one letter. I need to do the Scrabble thing where you don't take your first guess and you just keep going, you know? That's the best tip I ever learned for Scrabble, is don't put down the first word you think of. Think of a few more, and if your first one is still the best one, then put it down. The letter at the end is kind of ruining my life. There's not that many words that in this combination. Fine. Okay, it is that word. I was trying so hard to think of any other word. All right, we did it. Wordle, that was a five guesser. All right, Wordle closed. If you're avoiding Wordle spoilers, you may now return to the stream if you still had sound on. Let me grab my chat back. That chat close note is turning out to be very handy. Okay, and then I go here, grab some water, and then we get right back to Pet Charm World Quest because we have no time to lose. Easy clap. Yeah, Wordle's great. You're trying to guess a 5-letter word. I'm all about it. A lot of people are all about it. It's gone quite viral lately, especially among WoW people in particular. Seem to really get a kick out of it. But you guys told me that I would like Wordle, and you were not wrong. Got the black hand a bit ago. I kept forgetting to check the tormentors when I needed. I had, at one point in my life, I went and looked up the schedule because there's some kind of a spreadsheet or tool that you can use to figure out the exact times for the next rotation of all of them. And I wrote down all the times and I set a bunch of alarms, and then I proceeded to ignore every single one of them because I guess I didn't want to that badly. So apparently I just don't want it enough. But yeah, the last 3 I need: Intercessor Razram, which is the one that I missed last night at 1 a.m. my time. Manifestation of Pain, which is going to be today, I think, at 1 p.m. according to Wowhead. Yeah, Wowhead says 1 p.m. today is Manifestation of Pain, so I set a reminder, which should go off because it's daytime, so fingers crossed for that one, and then I don't know what the next goal mech is. Yeah. I've almost forgotten what mount I even get from that. Oh, you know what else I got recently? I was playing yesterday. Kyla Dragon, thank you for the 17-month resub. Happy Sunday, kitty looks so cozy. Is a photo of her I took recently. It's not a live feed at the moment, but it's a pretty cute picture. Thank you very much for your resub. Yesterday I went out. Flabby and I have been kind of doing like daily rounds of rares and treasures that drop mounts and pets and stuff. And we've been doing the slime pools, and we summoned Violet Mistake, as we've done for like a few days running now. And on the same Violet Mistake kill, both of us got the mount, the exact same one. It was wild. I've never seen anything like that. So I am now the proud owner of a hulking Deathrock. I still have to do Oily Invertebrate, which is almost worse because nobody wants to summon Oily Invertebrate. People only want to summon Violet Mistake for the mount. So you got to really find a time when there's not a ton of people there. There's not enough people there to interfere. I'm not trying for the Pristine Containment Pack. That's too much work for me. But I am trying for whatchamacallit. I want the pet. I want the oil thing. You're sick. Grats, I still want that mount. Grats, both of you. Here, I was riding around for a little bit. I went back to my book mount, but here we can show off a little bit. Hulking Deathrock. So now the only rock I think that I'm still looking for, there's an Abominable Stitching one. There's the Bone Sewn Flesh Rock, and that's kind of a cool color. I still need that. I came out here because, yeah, 20 Pet Charm quest for Zola. We also did an Ascended Council kill, but then nothing dropped, so got almost no Meldraxxus mounts. I'm starting to work through all the things of the different zones. For Bastion, I'm in really good shape except for the fact that the treasure drops will not drop for me. And then the Devoured Waiter seems horrific because the Swelling Tears, it feels like they're never up. And when they are up, they don't even necessarily spawn the boss that drops the pet. And then if it is the boss that drops the pet, it's not even a guaranteed drop. It seems just awful. So I don't know about that one. It's such a cool pet though. I love the cranes and I like the dark colors of them. Hello Hazel in chat. Almost at your 10K goal. I'm determined. Now that I've got that Wordle out of the way, maybe I could maybe we can crank up the pet turns per hour. Mega expensive pet. The mega expensive pet is 10K pet charms. Yep. To my knowledge, there is nothing in this game that costs more pet charms in one go than the Flawless Amethyst Bobbleworm. I need Gorespine and Bonehoof. Meldraxxus have gotten very lucky out there. It seems like it's easier to find rares up these days, which is kind of nice. We kind of like do laps, and for the most part, you can usually... Nerissa's the one that's a bit trickier. I wonder if it's just because people farm her more heavily. We have a much easier time finding Malkorok up. So many attempts on Meldraxxus mount, still nothing. I also checked with the script, and it turns out that secret World Edge Gorger prequest that you need to have done to be eligible for the World Edge Gorger's mount item drop, I'd already done it, so that I can't blame that for my bad luck. I had already completed it, at least on my main. My alt Druid hasn't done it, but I've been doing most of my farming on this character. Unless there's some secret pet charm BMAH. Oh, maybe. Part of me kind of wants to get back into auction house profession doing. You know, I have fond memories of during BFA and even Legion. You know, I would have like my little area. I would do potions, or I would do flasks, or I would do enchants was a common one for me, and I would just kind of craft them, I would flip them, I would snipe them when they're cheap and reset them, And I would just kind of like, you know, you'd get to know the other people that are competing in your sector. And it was kind of fun. I haven't really been crafting anything for profit in a while. Most of the gold that I've made has just been from callings and Paragon rep caches. And then I just spent like all of it. I dropped a bunch of gold this morning getting more scouting map toys because I didn't realize I didn't have them. So I dropped like 60 or 70K buying a bunch of scouting map toys that I had unlocked but not purchased yet. There's a quest to make you eligible for the World Edge mount. Supposedly, yeah, there's a lot of talk about people who did not get the drop until after either their main that they were farming on, or at least a character on their account had done the end mire. It's worth looking into. If you look for the Wowhead page in the World Edge Gorge, you scroll down a bit, there's a comment that talks about it, and there's a script that you can put into your chat that will tell you if, there's a script that will tell you if you have... All right, so there's 1 in Maldraxxus, 19 in Maldraxxus. For the last one, the fast thing to do is honestly probably to jump around between characters and then honestly skip the Maldraxxus one, just because Rocket's kind of a long fight. That's probably the best thing to do. Is there a mailbox up here? There must be. Townsfolk mailbox. You would think. It's like yeah. Yeah, let's hang it right here. And then I'm just gonna do world quests. Van Blossom, thank you for the 30-month resub. Happy Sunday, Hazel. Happy Sunday. It's actually sunny today on Sunday. I'm so excited. I have great dueling desires for the afternoon. Part of me really wants to go outside because it hasn't been sunny and clear, and also the snow's pretty much melted. It's actually clear outside, and I think, you know, the world's my oyster. I could go anywhere. And then the other part of me is like, what if you took a nap? I am daunted by the idea of catching up at legendary crafting now, but there's so much money to be made. Yeah, I was feeling that too. I had gotten myself into leatherworking, and I thought if I just, you know, farm up a bunch of stuff, then I can craft the base items. But it's when you're staring at a completely fresh armor crafting alt and you're thinking about trying to get the leatherworking patterns leveled up, you pretty much just got to pick one, right? Like I feel like it's so prohibitive to try to do all of them. And even if you do pick one, it's still really expensive to get all of that done. So I guess this character is already in Maldraxxus, so she may as well go do Rotgut. I keep getting stuck at the idea of what to choose. So many pieces, so several professions, everyone requires a big investment. There's probably some way to figure out, like for a specific armor type, what I would do is I would like try to suss out what the most popular specs are. So, you know, looking on some kind of a data website to figure out what the highest represented specs are in the game. Figure out which legendary slots those like and see if there's any overlap, like maybe a couple of popular specs of the same armor type use the same armor slot, and then maybe focus on that one. Just try to find like the higher demand one. You could also do that the other way by looking on the auction house at sale rate data using TSM or Undermine Journal or something and figuring out which legendary items sell the most often and then focusing on that one. But there may also be more competition in those areas. I could honestly see someone farming out like 100K pet charms for like a Thundering Serpent hatchling. I mean, people that are really set up for the pet charm farm generate incredible amounts of them. And they do that mostly with mission tables, because if you set yourself up so that you can just kind of run the missions through the app, like the app on your phone or whatever, and you have enough resources and you don't mind kind of flicking through both the Shadowlands mission table but also the BFA mission table, you can make huge amounts of pet charms that way. I was doing that for a while and it was pretty good. I was getting about 100 pet charms a day without having to do any pet world quests, but I got really bored of checking the BFA mission tables, and then I was just doing Shadowlands for a while, and that was also good. But then I kind of ran out of anima on a bunch of characters, and yeah, you can send anima to your alts on your main, but both A, that sounded like a lot of work, and then B, I didn't really have a lot of extra anima. I don't keep a huge anima surplus these days because I keep dumping it into buildings and mounts and stuff, so. Hi, Hazel. Happy I was able to finally catch a stream. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Hello. I am. I want to bake something, I think. I've been bake something, or maybe like some waffles. I'm in the mood to weigh some flour. I got some baking ingredients. I got some stuff. You know, I got a cookie sheet. I got an oven. I got a cast iron pan. I'm probably not making cookies in my cast iron pan, although I've seen people do it. Predicting 9.2 Legos will take quite a bit of research. When I buy Legos, I always choose based on the names of the creator instead of the price. Yes, weighing flour. It's just so much more satisfying because I feel like I spent my entire life scooping flour into... Ooh, no, I won't get sidetracked by that. I spent my entire life scooping flour into... you know, like a cup scoop. And then not only was it not terribly accurate, although I never really felt like I was totally bombing my baking based on inaccurate flour measurements. I feel like some recipes are kind of inaccurate to begin with, but it was just messier. I would spill more. What I do now is I just take whatever bowl that I'm going to put the flour into, I wham it on the kitchen scale, you know, zero it out, and then just take like a nice little spoon and just spoon it in until you get the right amount. And then if you do a little too much, you just take a little too much, a little bit out. It's great. I used to think that kitchen scales were fussy and overkill, and I have changed my mind. And specifically for weighing compactable ingredients like flour and sugar, or brown sugar at least, I'm 100% on board. Plus, they're not terribly expensive. Canadian flour is heavier than American flour? Excuse me? What? I think that determining the origin of a recipe may be too much for me. I swear. I believe you. I just don't see what I'm supposed to do about it. I think that the day I start compensating for that is the day that I become a better cook than I am now. Oh, dear. Messy, I'll have to wait next time. Husband got me a nice KitchenAid mixer, so I'll have to try it. Oh, man. Most of my recipes, I never really use the same recipe twice. I get into my head that I'm going to do a thing, and then I Google it until Google spits out like some blog post or another that has a recipe that looks about right, and then I wing it based on that. The problem is that if I don't save them when I like them, then I never know. Like I had made this really nice vegetarian chili, and I had done it from some recipe that I had Googled. And now I kind of want to make it again, and I can't find it for the life of me. Johnny Soares, thank you for the 28-month resub. I really should have just saved it. I will usually screen grab and then save them to a little file folder in my cloud for that purpose, but I forgot with this one. I should get a recipe card box. I have the equivalent of a digital recipe card box, and then I just kind of pull them up on my iPad so I don't have to... because I'm very messy, so whenever I had physical recipes, I would stain them beyond recognition. Picked up baking over the past couple months. I baked a beautiful 3-tier cake for my family for Christmas. No, I'm kidding, wait. Gifting baked goods, I find, is always... I say that. Do I ever gift baked goods? I feel like I can start to gift baked goods now. For the most part, I just freeze things and I try to forget that I have them, and then I have them small amounts at a time. I love the stained cards. My wife, Princette Recipes, made a cookbook from some of our favorites. It's a good idea. First the coffee, now this. I'm learning so much. Wait, is coffee different in Britain? Do you know a way to load the pets only clicking on the target? Rematch. The add-on Rematch will load my pet team by mousing over the tamer, which is, I think, what you're looking for. Card box with recipe titles and ingredients, but most recipes we have digitally. Yeah. My mom had like the beautiful wooden box with the index cards, and she had them all handwritten out in her own hand. And I have a bunch of photos of those saved. Those are the best ones. And I thought I was going to do that when I was a child, but then I realized that I can do more things in a day if I don't write so many things down. Kitty cat's name, her name is Kira. I always have to open it to click the load button. Mine automatically loads. There may be like an option somewhere in the options menu. I have auto load and then show after loading. I don't know if I need to show after loading, actually. I can just have it auto load instead of prompt to load or anything else. So I would check your settings window here in Rematch. So we did that one. And then the last one that she would need to do is in Revendreth. So I could flight path my way over there, or I could give up and just mail charms for the moment. The problem is that I'm going to have a bunch of like undone pet battle world quests and all these characters, but I think it's okay because I think that I'm never going to come back around to it. Like, I can take all of my 50s and I can just slam them through snakes on a terrace for like 19 charms a pop, and I think that that'll keep me busy all day. I feel like we're good. So our mailbox was over here. Chelsea, thank you very much for the 6-month resub. Happy half a year. Hope you're doing well. TSM groups, mail, and off go the pet charms. There we go. Tips for people that don't really pet battle but would like to start to get some cute pets. I have a few level 25 ones. That is still the cap. The day that they try to raise the pet level cap is the day that people like me with 1,400 pets that have been leveled riot, and I think they know that. So I don't think they're changing the pet cap anytime soon. If you have a couple level 25 pets, what I would do, I want to start getting a lot of pets you can collect without needing to pet battle at all. And if you have level 25 pets, you can probably capture any wild pet that you like. So you can browse through even just your pet journal. You can even just browse through the uncollected section in your pet journal. And here, let me go. Let's start in Bastion because I think that one had the best. That was the 20 pet charm one. Yeah. But browse through the uncollected pets, see if there's anything that you like. Yeah, the moth plate form is from a glyph that they added 915. A couple different colors of them available too, I think. Mark of the something shimmer moth. I think I don't remember the name of the color of it. Mark of the something shimmer moth. Unborn Valkyrie is very useful, but I don't know if I'd recommend it as one of the first pets for a new person to try to get, just because capturing an Unborn Valkyrie, unless they made it easier again, in this day and age is one of the more annoying things to do pet battle-wise. They changed the zones in some way that made the phasing kind of annoying, so they're a bit tough to get. And there's other ways, like it's a very widely useful pet, but there's also other ways to get through those fights. Mark of the Shimmering Ardmoth. Remember when they gave us key rings? Nobody wants to buy the glyphs I made. Maybe it's about posting time, or if other people are like fighting you for the posts, or maybe you just need to advertise them. You know, you get on a druid and you just like do very slow laps around Oribos, and then every now and then you just like cry with a yell macro. Thanks, Brius. Got an Unborn Valkyrie first try, might have just been lucky. They've gone through different, like they were once upon a time a little annoying to get, but not too bad. And then there was something done to the zone phasing that made them hard. I want to say it was Legion Artifact Weapon quest lines. Did something to... No, that was for Nexus Whelplings, never mind. Although maybe also the same thing, but there's something done to the phasing that obliterated a bunch of the spawn points unless you were specifically phased into them. Opinions in a Dragonel's expansion Dragon class race. I'm all for it. Seems like a good idea. I'd be interesting to see. Mark of the... Yeah, I never learned the names of them. I just figured out that I could search Mark of the, and then it would pull up like a bunch of different, like all the new Druid form glyphs, because when I looked in the glyph section, and maybe they fixed this, I thought they might have fixed it, but they weren't listed in the Druid glyph category, so who knows? I did that Storm Song Valley Pet World quest I was doing yesterday. I did it on like the 6 other characters that I had left on my line server. I tried to do it on my Horde server, but it got more complicated because my Horde characters, I haven't really needed a pet charm farm on them, so they didn't have engineering set up. I set up engineering on a couple of them, and then I went and I wormholed out there, and I flew all the way out, and then I realized I didn't have the world quest turned on yet, and then I didn't have like a Hearthstone off cooldown to go all the way back. It was so I gave up on doing it on my Horde ults. It's a real reality check that I haven't played them in a long time because their bars and their add-ons and their keybinds are all weird. They're a relic of probably at least a year plus ago, I think. If you could only have one pet, not ability-wise but looks-wise, which one would you choose? Jennifer, for some reason, will probably always be my favorite pet. My Greenwing macaw is my most nostalgic pet, so it gets the favorite label just in general. But in terms of raw appearance, the coastal sandpiper. Look at this thing. Look at it. It's like there's cute birds in game, but something about this one just gets me. The fact that it looks almost like a real bird, you know? It's just a wild pet that you can capture off the coast of Suramar. It's nothing too difficult or special or crazy. I don't think it's particularly good in pet battles, but it's just the cutest one. I am... so we need to do Maldraxxus and Revendreth, but we'd have to flight path. I guess I can flight path to one of them. Or I could just mail my pet charms. Ooh, let's go do actually Snakes and a Terrace on this character. So let's, for this one, I guess I should have done that on my Druid as well. My problem is that Wormhole, I need to go to Zandalar. There we go. I'm not being very organized in which characters have done which world quests. I'm just kind of winging it. Ooh, that's not too far at all. Cute. Toddle would be mine for sure. That is a cute bird. I want that as a pet IRL. I used to like going to, there was this wildlife refuge area near my last place where you could see many types of birds. It was kind of a bird sanctuary, but it was basically just like a big park, right? Like they're not keeping any birds there, but they're cultivating a bird habitat that the birds might like. And there was like a big wetland area where, as long as it hadn't been too droughty lately, there would be lots of different types of shorebirds, and you would get like herons and cranes, and you would get like these little, you know, sandpiper-like birds. I don't know the names of all the birds. That's a goal of my life, is to learn more bird names and attach them to various birds visually. But they were super cute. Hi, Hazel in chat. Hello. Orphan Marsul always made me happy because it weirdly reminded me of a cat I had as a kid. That might be the first time I've heard someone say that they explicitly enjoy the Marsuls. Does it look like a cat? It kind of looks like a cat that is doing a dinosaur costume for Halloween if the cat was very committed to the goal and shaved. For some reason, no matter how cool it looks, I tend to like pets that are harder or rare to get. I'm exactly the same way with mounts. I'm exactly the same with mounts. It doesn't matter how cool looking a mount is. If I feel like I didn't earn it, I probably won't ride it around. Which is why I buy every shot mount, more or less. I think I have every shot mount, but I will almost always actually ride something that I feel like, you know, that I really worked for. Case in point, I will ride this book forever. The Marsuls are adorable. I like macro photography. Since then, I am not scared of bugs for the first time. Oh, that's really cool. I've been trying every like 3 years. I have a phase where I say, I'm going to photograph birds. Just for fun, obviously. Because that would be a strange career swap for me. And I feel like there's only 2 people in the world that actually make a living photographing birds. Because the trouble is that birds are very fast and they tend to fly. But then the problem is that they're very fast and they tend to fly. I do have one zoom lens. The first like 2 times I went out to take pictures of birds in like 2016 or 17 or something like that, I actually got some that I really liked. You know, they were pretty in focus. They looked pretty good. And I thought, oh, this is so cool. This is really fun. And then every time I've ever gone out after that, I've never gotten anywhere close to, like, I don't know what I was doing the first time, but clearly I forgot because I'm not getting anywhere near, like the best picture I got last time I tried to take photos of birds was a picture of a baby squirrel because the baby squirrel had the grace to pose for me and stay still for a minute. Baal and Una were quite cool to get. If the Spell Tome had won the vote for Fremount, what do you think they would have rewarded for Mage Tower? Maybe the Caterpillar? But only if its mount special turns it into a butterfly, but then back. Yeah. I think that the book makes the perfect Mage Tower thing because, I don't know, it's the Mage Tower. Mages love books, you know? They're always reading something. Caterpillar gang. I was so on board with Team Caterpillar. I wonder if the other 2... What was the 4th one? The 4th one was some kind of a cat, right? There was the caterpillar, the tree, the book, and then some version of a cat. And I feel like everybody kind of forgot about the cat because we have cats. you know, cat mounts are not new to this game. I guess I can port to, let's just teleport to Orbis. Oh, the jelly cat, the slime cat. Okay, that would have been kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've always kind of wondered if they have some amount of art on the other two as well that they would like bring back sometime down the road if they really wanted to. Eventually. Because, you know, now we're 2 of 4. I like the book mount a lot better than the ancient, but that's also because, you know, the book mount can fly and the book mount's a lot smaller. All right, how are we doing pet charm wise? 9,413. I feel like the first 200 went really fast, so we're in good shape. There's some in Maldraxxus and there's some in Revendreth. I have 6 minutes left in my wormhole. I guess I fly to Maldraxxus and then I should be able to wormhole to Revendreth to get a few more. I want to mostly clear... I think I'm probably ruining my efficiency with all this travel time, but I don't want to... I'm not going to run out of them. I'm not going to run out of Pet Charm World quests. Am I? No. Do I need to run? Ooh, I need to make sure that I end today by going back to my hall to run that mission at least. I'm less than 600 pet charms away. Let's go here. I wanted to have a rideable Gahoon. See another one of the mounts being a raid reward. I wish we'd get a slime cat mount at some point from Maldraxxus. If concept art was released, it would have influenced what mount was chosen in the end. I always figured that they never released concept art because people would feel so entitled to the ones that didn't win if they saw any amount of the work that was potentially done on them. You know, if they thought, well, you already have this, why won't you give it to us, et cetera, et cetera. So I always felt that like that was why they were so close-lipped about any hints of what the other ones could have looked like beyond the name of the concept. Because if people saw even like a sketch, they would have been like, well, mine. That's mine now. I see it. Give. When do you think we'll get the new tiger mount? Chinese New Year's, February 1st, maybe end of January. Sounds about right. I'm sure that someone knows when in the year they tend to release the Chinese New Year mounts. You know, just based on historical. I always forget. Need to revamp Darkmoon Fair. I feel like they've been doing all right, just kind of tacking onto it. Although I will say that compared to the Golden Saucer event but the Golden Saucer area of Final Fantasy, Darkmoon Fair is real boring. It's got all these games, and I don't know if the games aren't fun or if they're just not incentivized for me, or maybe it's because I've been around long enough that I've earned most of the incentives. But even these days, they add new things to get for the Darkmoon Fair, and I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to go back. I don't know. I think they need to pay minor attention to the seasonal events. I was, for the most part, fine with the move that they had made, where every now and then they would, you know, like every couple of years, they would add like a new toy or a pet or something, you know, to the vendors, or like maybe a new quest or like a little thing here and there. And then they would leave it alone for a few years. I don't need the seasonal events to have new stuff all the time, because I feel like there's something kind of nice about feeling done, you know? I see that Hallow's End is rolled around again, and if I see that there's nothing new for me to get, then I can be like, all right, happy Hallow's End, I'm going back to bed. You know, like I feel as though I've earned the rest of not stressing too much about holidays because I finished my Violet Proto like a long time ago. Glad I took a short break from leveling, because this is going to be a week of leveling. I place a non-60 at Darkmoon Fair to do pet dailies for XP. I'm leveling pet when Squirt's not up anytime soon. It's not a bad way to get extra, like Sid's the Squid and whatever the other one is. You know what pet I haven't started farming yet is it Crackers? The one from the Grummel pouch. Crackers? No. Crackers and Cap'n Crackers exist already. I was looking through them because I'm finally starting to get through my backlog of uncollected pets. Squibbles, pardon me. Yes, Squibbles, which it looks like a pet that we already have, but that's a pet daily in 2 minutes, 1 minute 39. Hang on, I'm gonna get up for just a real quick second. Hang on, just a minute. Um, 58 seconds, and then I can go to, what is it, Revendreth for my last one? Yeah, there's another 17 charms in Revendreth. Do you have enough to finish it today? It depends on how late I feel like streaming. I have 9,432, so I need another like 568 of these things, which sounds like a lot, but, you know, I started today at 9,200, although we are 46 minutes in, but, you know, how much time did I realistically lose to doing the Wordle? Should do the BFA alchemy pets more. I found out about the chicken mount from Waycrest Manor. Excuse me? What? Ontario, thank you for the 20-month resub. Very much appreciated. Chicken mount from Waycrest Manor? Check for the world quest, the slime pet from Toldagor. The slime pet I remember. Yeah, no, that's true. I haven't gotten around to getting Gurgle. It's one of those things that I'm lying to myself and telling myself I'm going to make a video for. Even if it's not today, it will be today and the day you finish. That is true, actually. That's a good point. I was thinking about that yesterday, is that it's never not today. It's always today. I was going to Revendreth. Oh, it's a chicken pet. Okay. I'm thinking there's a TCG chicken mount that I do not have. And I have made my peace with not having the TCG chicken mount unless I just get really rich, which reminds me, no, not getting sidetracked, not checking the BMH. It doesn't matter. I'm broke anyways. I have 66k gold. Spooky. Oh, chicken pet. Got mounts in my mind. I was ready to abandon everything and be like, excuse me? One chicken mount, please. Chicken pet from Waycrest Manor. Now that makes me think, do I Waycrest? Waycrest filter level maybe? Pet families. I just want to know if I have it. I think I must have it. It's now that you mentioned that it's pet, it's vaguely ringing a bell.
Look at you.
I was thinking about the Toldagor slime recently because I was in Toldagor helping Flabby farm for an item for a speed set. Just learned of a jellycat pet named Jiggles. I won't be able to sleep until I obtain it. Jiggles is pretty good. All of the main Covenant pets have pretty cool animations. I just bought the last one for me, and I'll show you after this. The Ventier one, it's a sin stone with like some thorns and stuff. Sin Heart, yeah, this thing. Why are people not more excited about this thing? It's really cute, and it responds to emotes. I know like a lot of the, you know, like the steward pet and the Trudy and whatever, like they'll mount up. I don't know if Trudy does actually, but the steward pet, the baby steward, will mount up with you and it responds to different emotes that you do. And I figured that that would be the same for the Ventier one, and it is. But I went to the comments of it on Wowhead, and nobody even talks. Like, people mention the mount that it mounts up on. It will mount up with a randomly colored plague bat with you. I'll show you after I do this pet battle. But it'll emote with you too. You think a rock is cute? You're about to think a rock is cute. You just wait. Did you ever get Sir Snips? I don't think so. That's for honor level more than I can deal with. Honor level 400. What's my honor level? It's not 400. I'm honor level 71, so I would need to do some serious lifestyle editing if I was going to get that done. I want the magic rooster so badly. What if you wait another year until people that like you entirely procrastinated on and forgot the Gurgle exists and then make a guide? At a certain point, I make guides for things that are so incredibly outdated just for the exercise of it, you know, just to remind myself how to make a guide. Okie dokie. I am, first of all, Sinheart. Very important. So, argument number one in favor of this very cute rock. Argument number one is look at him. He's like pretty big, you know, look at him compared to my gnome. He's almost gnome sized. He's got all these thorns and stuff. If I mount up on my book, he gets on his little bat. He gets on his little bat, and then he'll fly along with you on his little plague bat, his little baby plague bat, you know. He's got the one with the necklace right now. So that's cute. And then, so if you target him, oh, come back down, bud. You target him and you slash sit, and he'll have a little sit with you. And then another one that I found, come on, this way. Excuse me. Up you get. There you go. is, and this isn't very nice, but if you roar at him, he gets scared. Come on. Does the Dredger emote as well? I don't know, actually. Do I have a Dredger pet? I know there's like a Dredger butler you can get from, I want to say the Dredger butler is Ember Court, and I don't think I have it. Glad to see you streaming. New to WoW. New tank. Learned a lot from your videos on YouTube. Welcome. Okay, that's an adorable rock. Yeah, I just thought that, like, I know that the other Covenant pets, at least the baby steward, obviously, and then the, you know, the baby tree from the Ardenweald Covenant Hall, those are pretty, and then the slime cat, right? Like, those are very obviously super cute, but I feel like this one got overlooked. Pastor J, thank you for the 3-month resub. I am 8850 of 10K. Oh, you're almost there. I found that it's picked up quite a lot in the home stretch because I can taste it now. So that'll be another 18 of them. And then off we go. Yeah, so I'm 94.49 now. I just got to keep moving. We'll do this. The singing sunflower will never not be cute to me. The singing sunflower, at least among my friends, obtained kind of a reputation of being a way to grief because people would have sound on, and some people really don't like the sunflower singing. Pastor J, thank you very, very, very much for all those gifts. I was appreciating. Also, a 3-month reset from you. Thank you very, very much. Congrats to those who picked him up. He's alive. We're going... Oh, you know what I can do, actually? I have recently made friends with the Sinfall surface flyers, these bats that are kind of in the middle ring. I think that they're faster. I don't know that they're faster, but I think that they're faster if you just want to get to the top than taking the regular flight path. My friend and I both have the sunflower and have it out during raid nights. So the 10K pet on the Lightbringer auction house, last time I was checked, was going for a little over 500,000 gold, like 560K, which honestly seems really cheap for a 10,000 pet charm pet, but I didn't want to spend any gold on it because I'm broke right now. Post Mage Tower and more recently, oh, I should run that one. Post Mage Tower and then more recently post, I just bought a bunch of scouting maps. I am pretty out of gold, but that's okay. I like being out of gold because then every new gold that I get feels like such a huge percentage of my net worth, you know? If you have 10 gold and you get 5 gold from vendoring a rock, you're 50% richer. It's great. Remember, you couldn't go to the auctionist without listening to the sunflower singing. It was needed for a Battle of Dazara lore achievement, so it's useful. Guild recommendations. I mean, guilds are server specific, so, and also everybody has different expectations from their guild, so it depends on what kind of guild you're looking for and who's cool in your server. I've been a Ventier this whole time, didn't know those bats did that. I walked by one and I saw the cogwheel and I thought, that's gotta be handy. I was ready for it to cost me like infused rubies or something, which I would have spent because what am I using infused rubies for? I'm thinking, you know, you buy your 4 things and then you're done with the rubies forever. But doesn't cost anything, just takes you right up top. Pretty nice. They're on both levels too, so if you're on the lower level and you want to get up, you can just surface flyer it up. It's not that much faster than the flight path, and I think the flight path is also free if you're just going somewhere close by, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. You're going to be using the rubies a lot for Ember Court. I don't know why. I am giga procrastinating on Ember Court. I have not built it, and it's not even the next place I'm going to put my anima. I have 7,500 anima earmarked for... I have 7,500 earmarked for the Renown 70 mount. I have, which I still have to get a little more Renown on, but for that. And then I have another 15K in my mind set aside for getting my Ventier transport network to rank 3 so I can work on the Battle Gargan from that. And then, I don't know, it's so much anima to even level the thing up, you know? Bastion. With 10,000 pet charms, we're gonna get a flawless amethyst bobbleworm. Very expensive pet. But the Ember Court is fun. North. This one is kind of far from the thing. I guess I can do this, and then I go do the Vol'dun one. And then I probably just forget the Maldraxxus one hearth and then run the thing. Cool weapons from the court. The Bobbleworm can buff you with a rainbow trail effect, very much like the prismatic bauble toy. And then it has like a little chat emote that it does that other people nearby can see when it does that. Felicity Dragon, thank you for the 10-month resub. One of the few that thinks Amber Court is a pain in the butt. I've heard that opinion from a few people as well. It just seems like it depends on whether or not you're in the mood for it. It's either a very charming, enjoyable party, or it's an incredibly dull thing that you just have to do. Do many people have the 10K pet? I don't know, but I know how to find out. So if I go to, let me just look up me, Lightbringer, and then I look up me. So this is my own Data for Azeroth page, and I just make sure I'm not overflying this pet battle. And then I go pets, not collected, and then I'm looking, there's not that many that I don't have collected. So these are my uncollected pets. My most popular, hey, I got the Writhing Spine recently. Flawless Amethyst Bobbleworm. So apparently the Flawless Amethyst Bobbleworm has been obtained by 0.6989% of players. So a little more than 0.5% of players. So not that many, not terribly many people have it. There's a few floating around, and there's people that will farm many of them. Well, not many, but multiples of them, and then sell them, because they do sell for pretty good gold if you have like a good pet charm operation going. So actually curious, of the pets that I don't have, according to this, what's the most popular? I don't have the Horde Guild Herald, and then that's a recruiter friend pet, and then Bog Beast is the most common pet that I don't have yet because I insist on farming it and the thing won't drop for me. Hi, Hazel. Haven't been on one of the streams before. Hello, welcome. I feel so special. Yeah. I'm starting to feel good about my pet collection again. I'm starting to feel good. Like, in terms of character rankings, my pet collection is only, or I guess account rankings. I am Lightbringer 8th in terms of my battle pets. Is that it? Am I in the right spot? Yeah, Lightbringer 8th in terms of my battle pets. Incidentally, also 8th in terms of mounts, even though I feel like my pet collection is much more impressive than my mount collection. There's just some really hardcore pet collectors on Lightbringer. I have 95.4% of battle pets obtained and only 79.5% of mounts. My toy collection, I don't really go out of my way for toys anymore after I got the 400 toy achievement. I'll get them if they're like in front of me. I mean, 79 doesn't sound all that impressive next to 95.4. What pet am I? What pets? I feel like I can do better than that. I guess if I go back to me. Oh, I need to relog in. Is this the pet scores? No, this is overall completion score. This is the tool that I use, and I've showed this before. This is the tool that I use to figure out what mount or pet farm to do next. If I'm looking for the easiest one to get that I don't have, I would go like into my mounts. I would go into not collected, sort by rarity, and you can see the mounts that the most people have, but that I still don't have. Apparently I need to be camping Knack the Thunder and Nagrand. Or, you know, make a BFA Horde character and get myself Talongees, the Expedition Bloodswarmer. But for pets, Bogling, Thundering Serpent, Hatchling, yeah. This one won't drop for me either, the Wrathling and the Venom Spitter. And that's Ember Court, and then that's... Oh yeah, I'm probably... Do I buy that one? Let me see, Sharpclaw. After this, I'll check to see how expensive it is. I did get the Wordle today. It was starting to concern me, though. Favorite pet, I have a soft spot for the Greenwing Macaw because it's a nostalgia one for me. Okay, so we're gonna... I was gonna check real quick, Sharpclaw. I guess what I can do, actually, just for fun, is I look at battle pets, uncollected, and then I sort by price. Really? Venom Spitters for 10k? And then the Bogling for 12k. Yeah, these are all pets that I'm farming. I guess I'm not doing a great job of farming Gralabois for the Amaranthine Stinger, but... Squibbles is up there. Rarities on there. Devoured Waiter, 242. Gilded, 242. Invert Oil. Yeah, those are the tough ones. Some of these just won't drop for me. I have Extermination. Interesting. Wonder what that's from. I'm going to go Wormhole to Zandalar, and I'm going to fly over to the Snakes Notaris. Just got a tiny Crimson Whelpling while leveling in Wetlands. You are the pet goddess. How rare is it? It's pretty rare. Also, I'm underwater. The tiny Whelplings are pretty rare. They were, back in the day, one in at least 1,000, if not 2 or more. They're quite rare. Oh, I am heading this way. Yeah. I used to farm those. 12k is nothing. I know, which makes me think that... It makes me even more reluctant to buy it, honestly, because I feel like I will value that pet more for my own effort than for just 10k. Although right now I am pretty broke, so 10k is not nothing to me right now. Looking back into getting into the game after taking nearly 6 months off. Easiest way to get caught up? Depends on how caught up you want to be. I wouldn't grind crazy like Shards of Domination. I wouldn't do too much with the raid. If you do some Korthia and you get yourself set up with some Korthia gear, and then you get your conduits roughly caught up, then you'll be in good shape, I think, to head into 9.2. Sell you one for 150k? Would that be better? I don't have 150k. I got 66k right now. Ooh, I could have 190 more gold if I kill more Fani. Nope, nope, nope. Pet charms per hour. Pet charms per hour. I can't falter now. I'm too close. The Battlebound Warhound is my most collected that I don't have. Over 400 attempts. Oh dear. Having awful luck with that. How are you... That sucks. I have some theory that that one has only like a couple chances to drop per day. But 400 could still be just like a few per day. I think I got it on my second boss, but like within the first 4 of a day. What is the pet charms per hour? I haven't actually calculated it. I just know that whenever I get distracted and I start doing something that is not a Pet Battle World quest, it's a real pet charms per hour nightmare. We're only 514 more to go though, which is really not that many in the grand scheme of things. Been about an hour. Yeah, so I guess that's true. If it's been an hour and I started at 9,200, then I have done about 300 pet charms per hour, which would mean that I would need to stream over by like 30 to 45 minutes if I wanted to finish this today. Do you think that they're going to make BFA flying easier to get in 10.0? Can't bring myself to farm Najatar. Maybe. It wouldn't be unheard of. I did take a Wordle break. It wasn't a super long Wordle break, though. I don't think. Do you think of the next X pack you will still be engineering for the wormhole? Yeah, if they nerf it again, which I would assume that they will, because in its current state, the wormhole is too good. It's a combination of the wormhole being too good and the other travel options for getting around between the zones being too bad. I can't justify not being engineering on literally all my characters, but I would prefer if I didn't feel like I had to be so I could enjoy other professions again. I built my dad a gaming PC for Christmas, trying to get him to play WoW with me. That'd be fun. I know a fair few families that actually play together. It's not as unusual as you might think. Shadowlands traveling is annoying. It's not bad if you're not in a hurry. You can just flight path yourself to pretty much anywhere, and I feel like it doesn't actually take crazy long. Maybe it does, but, you know, it doesn't take crazy long if you're willing to get up and stretch your legs and go, like, top up your water and think about what it is you might make for lunch. I haven't done a super recent add-ons video, but my list is up to date. There's a spreadsheet for it. Also, that reminds me, did I turn on my bot this morning? Is chatbot on? It doesn't. No, chatbot's not on. Oh no. Hang on. I load chatbot. I can fix this. How did I miss this? What was I thinking about? I think I logged in and I started checking for Pet Charm World Quest, and then I started I started checking for pet charm world quests, and then I started doing the Wordle. And then I forgot to do the thing. It is loading. All right, let's just hope that that finishes out. Family plays WoW with me. It's kind of great. How many alts is ideal for farming pet charms? As many as you can stomach doing pet dailies on, and then more if you can, as many as you can stomach doing pet dailies on, more if you can stomach running missions on them. I have somewhere in the range of 30 that I can use, 25 to 30. However, that kind of hits the point where you can spend a couple of hours sat down slamming pet charm quests and you won't run out of alts, you will run out of patience, or at least I will. If someone had infinite patience to spend like 4 or 5 hours a day running these pet dailies, then they could make a lot of them. But at a certain point, it just becomes too much time. I don't know. 125k is extremely cheap. Okay, so that one, there we go. So we're up to 9,500 now. We've just cracked 9,500. I guess I should take a break, but I don't want to. There's more dailies to do. I'm conflicted about how the wormhole generator is, but would like to not have engineering on all my characters. Yeah, I would assume that they'll go back to the old model where it just kind of spits you out somewhere random within a range. Because I don't want them to completely gut it, because engineers need something. I never take engineering because I consider it to be the ultimate bag destroyer of professions. They have so many weird, fiddly things that just take up bag space, both in materials for their crafts, and then their crafts themselves have a tendency to be weird, fiddly things that take up bag space. Let's start in, I'm gonna fly to Bastion so that I can wormhole. I keep using my seed pod. I guess I should take off my seed pod trinket. My Hearthstone on this character will take me to Hearthstone takes me to Ring of Fate, so it'll take me back to Orthos. Yeah, I did move recently. Well, recently is starting to become less recent, but I'm waiting on furniture. I've been keeping my phone by my side because I'm waiting on a phone call that apparently will arrange my furniture delivery, at least the first bit of it, which will have my new desk. Because once I get my desk, I'm gonna actually set up at least the beginnings of my office corner. I can get the shelf back, I can put up some lights, I can hang some things, I can buy a teapot and have a spot to put it on my desk. Is that a teal case? Kind of. It's like this foresty, it's kind of like a green, it's like a muted green-blue color. And I thought that it was kind of unique, and I enjoyed it. I have a lot of vaguely teal stuff. And I thought it looked nice. And then I came here, and I also kind of thought it would be a bit unique and that nobody else would have one just like it, at least in my general area. And then I come back, and my mother has just recently gotten for herself an identical phone blaze. Total coincidence. She had no idea what mine looked like. But basically at the same time, both of us got new phone cases. We got basically the exact same color of phone case. And our phones are now almost indistinguishable. And I managed to accidentally steal my mother's phone in that she had given me a ride back to my place here, and I had been holding her phone in the car to check for a message for her or something. And I forgot to give it back because I just assumed that it was my phone when my phone was in my bag. So I was sitting in my apartment and I realized that I had two of the same phone, and I was like, oh no, I have mom's phone and I don't know how to tell her because I have mom's phone. I managed to text her iPad and then get it back to her, but did you move back close to where you grew up? I'm sure your family's so happy to have you back. Close enough anyways. And then I'm back on the island. I grew up island, and I'm living in Victoria now, which is much more urban than I've ever lived before. It's not like Victoria's a huge city, but it's a bigger city than where I grew up. But this is my first time ever living in a city, and I am I haven't been getting out a ton because it's been very snowy lately. It's just now melted and I'm kind of excited. but I am so close to stuff. I can walk places. There's like, and then like if I'm driving somewhere, it feels like nothing around here, at least in Victoria, is more than a 10-minute drive from anything else in Victoria. I'm thrilled. Is it still survival? Yeah, I don't think that I've fixed it. Have you switched to a Canadian phone carrier yet? I've started paying for my Canadian phone plan, but I don't want to swap out my SIM because that's going to change my phone number, and I'm not ready to do that until I stop expecting a phone call. once all of my furniture has been delivered, because I don't think that I will be able to trust that I've updated my phone number with them if I do change my phone number with them. It's not the company I bought it from. They've transferred it to a delivery partner, and I really doubt the capacity to correctly update it. So I figure I'm just going to leave my phone number alone until after I'm not expecting any more phone calls, and then I'll swap it out. And then for the moment, I'm just paying for 2 phone plans. Apple branded phone case. No, it's very similar to the ones that Apple makes. This one's just an Amazon one. I wanted, honestly, I just wanted a new phone case. My other one I'd had for a few years and it was starting to look kind of yellow. So I got just one of these silicone-y ones. I like it in that it's quite grippy. I don't drop it ever anymore. And I feel like my phone's quite safe in it. But the trouble is that it's really hard to shove into a pocket. My other phone case used to be much easier to kind of slip into a pocket. And I feel like I have to really work whenever I want to put this thing into like my little running waist pack or my rain jacket pocket. Love being able to walk places. So easy and convenient, stress-free. Wife is an island girl. Something about islands. Live about a half an hour away from family. It's about the perfect distance. I can, I'm quite close. It's nice. Although, I think it's tough right now because there's been weather, and then there's also, you know, the current COVID wave, and then there's also, I think people are a bit busy. So I'm happy to be home, but I'm not, like, I did a bunch of stuff around Christmas time, and then I've been more or less hanging out here. Are you taking a break today, or are you committed? To the pet trends per hour. I might take a break, but not right now. I might also stream a little later too. We'll see. I am going to, let's do, oh yeah, this character is a real pet charms per hour nightmare because she does not have, she's just got to give up. She doesn't have wormholes of any kind, so she can't wormhole herself to another zone, and she also cannot wormhole herself to Zandalar, so I'm just going to mail off the 20 pet charms and give up. Yeah, this character is Night Fae. I have a lot of characters, and they're all kind of whatever Covenant felt right at the time. My main is currently Ventier, but that's just for the sake of trying to collect some Ventier cosmetics. It's the leatherworking tune. What phone is it? It's an iPhone. It's whenever they made the purple one, so not the newest one, but not wildly old either. I got it a couple summers ago. Phones really fit at the best of times. I have done a pretty good job of getting jackets, at least. Jackets and pants that have sufficiently sized pockets for my phone to fit in. It's just the grippiness of the case makes it a bit tough, but for the most part, I've gotten used to just kind of putting my phone in my bag instead, and that works out just fine. I am going to, so this character, she can do, oh, I should check her mission board. There's 10 available, none of them are pet charms. Okay, so let's start with a wormhole, and then we'll flight pass, and I can take, oh, let's start with the Coltyrus wormhole first. Ben, thank you for the 17-month reset. 17 months. It's been a long time. Oh, that's not a great... Oh, I went the wrong one. I need to go to Zandalar. I'm thinking this is a terrible way to get to Voldoon. Yeah, it's been a long time. They're not adding any more new renown. They have confirmed that there will be no new renown levels. 80 will be the renown cap. I don't know if there's going to be an 80 renown catch-up for returning players. I'm not wildly worried about it though, just because the renown, like you've got your 40 renown catch-up item that gets you instantly to 40, and 40 to 80 is really not too bad. I understand, especially for alts wanting to be able to skip past that. But if it is an alt, they very well may be able to make do with just the 40 renown. And then if you're going to play them more, just playing an alt kind of passively for like a week can get you caught up on renown. Once upon a time, I would have been much more up to date on what the various different iPhones do. They just kind of got boring after a while. I was very into consumer tech and smartphones and whatever, kind of 2011 through 15, I would say, back when every new one had like substantial upgrades to, you know, the camera or the screen or like some cool new tech. And I feel like smartphone tech just kind of reached a point where most of the new ones and most of the flagships are pretty much doing the same thing. And the new leaps and bounds are in areas that most people, or at least me at least, I don't really care all that much about. So I used to be very much a trade in my phone every year kind of person. I would do the plans where you would just lease the phone, and then whenever a new one came out, you would just swap it for another one while staying on the same contract. I did that for a while, and I used to enjoy that, but I reached a point where I was like, there's nothing that I need for my phone that it's not doing for me just fine. So a couple of years ago, I bought this outright, and then I've just been putting my own SIM in it, and it works out. It doesn't really need to be better than it is. For a while, I was making excuses for myself that I wanted to have my smartphone to have a better camera so that I could like really comfortably and quickly film stuff to use in videos. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It's not impossible, but it's kind of annoying to get photos and videos from an iPhone to edit on a Windows PC in Premiere. It's not impossible, but it's a little bit more annoying than it should be, especially because the file formats are a little bit... They are compatible, but I was running into some weird issues. So what I've done instead these days is I've resigned myself to, if I'm going to make a video including lots of video clips from the phone, I'll just do it entirely on my iPad and then export the whole finished thing. I still have the 8. Everyone makes fun of me for still having a button on my phone. Sad that they're not adding new renown because I need Path of Ascension to be easier. Had the same phone since the release of Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was what inspired me to get a portable battery, like one of those rechargeable batteries. And I don't carry it around anymore, but I like having it for traveling. And then it kind of came in handy because when I first moved in here, I couldn't find one of my chargers in my luggage, but I found the battery. So I ended up charging my phone or my iPad or something off of my battery. Film with your iPad? I edit on my iPad. I have filmed on my iPad before as well, but for the most part, if I could like record something on my phone and then just, you know, chuck it together, chop it up on my iPad. Video editing on iPad's actually awesome. Depending on what you need, I wouldn't do like a raid guide on it. Because I'm kind of, there's some things that are harder, but for everyday video editing for most things, you can do a real good job these days. Have you had Android ever? Yeah, I had. My first smartphone that I ever bought for myself, I picked up a Galaxy S2 back when those were cool. I don't think it was new at the time. The phone was new, but the S3 had already come out. This would have been 2011-ish. I decided that it was time for me to get a smartphone and that I was a grown-up and that I had my own job and that I could buy whatever I wanted because I was still using a flip phone at the time, which I kind of missed. That thing was cool. But I went to a mall kiosk and then I just was like, one smartphone, please. And they're like, do you know what you want? And I'm like, no. And I ended up getting an S2 and it was an Android phone. It was fine. The browser was effectively non-existent. Like it may as well not have been there because of how slow it was. But that was also on 2011 Canadian. LTE wasn't a thing yet. It was 3G and it was not good. Bastion? Did I do the Bastion one already? Shadowlands. I did not do the Bastion one yet. S2 is my first smartphone as well. It got the job done. I didn't end up getting an iPhone until I came to the States. I bought myself had a little gold rim on it. It was cute. I don't remember. 5 something. Both work fine. I like the Apple ecosystem because I don't terribly mind being limited in and it does what I need it to. So I have a fair amount of Apple stuff. Miss a flip phone, you can buy one again. Yeah. My phone, I've kind of made peace with my phone. For a while, I was very resentful of it because it was kind of a source of stress for me. It would keep telling me things and none of it was good news. And I think I've wrangled it to the point where it basically doesn't tell me anything anymore. And I use it to answer phone calls. I use it to text my family, although I do that almost as often just on my laptop. And then, what else are you for? looking up recipes and things to cook in my cast iron pot. You want to know why I wanted a smartphone in 2011? Don't say Angry Birds. I miss the physical keyboards on phones. What do you think is the most fun Covenant special building? The A-Bomb Factory, I think, is actually kind of cool because it's not super hard like Path of Ascension can be, so it's not as frustrating. But you get like the different buddies to make. However, I didn't progress it crazy far. My cast iron pot. He has a name. That is true. Calvin does have a name. I made a grilled cheese sandwich in Calvin the other day. It worked real good. Worked a real treat. It was not Angry Birds, although I did play that at the time. I had Tetris, the one phone game I played on that first smartphone of mine. I had downloaded, or I think I had paid $2 on $2 or $3 to get a copy of Tetris, and I played like a fairly high amount of Tetris on it. There's an achieve for finding all the dress-up options for the A-Bomb friends. Love my Fold 3. Back to being a little notebook for all my phone things. Oh, I remember Tap Tap Revolution. That was a thing. Newer bendable flip smartphones. I don't know that I've ever looked at my smartphone and thought to myself, you know what you need to do is bend. I understand that it's cool looking tech. Maybe I'm just too close-minded. I don't really see the point yet. I guess you can fold it up and put it away, but I don't know, it's flat. You can just put it away to begin with. Happy Sunday, Hazel in chat. Happy Sunday. How are we doing pet charm wise? We're up to 95.44. I think I've slowed down. The only thing I want out of Shadowlands is a wing mount with Kyrian wings. Bigger screen? I suppose so. I just, I get around that by having a profusion of devices with various size screens. If I'm trying to do something on my phone and I want more screen space, an example would be if I'm playing Hearthstone Battlegrounds on my phone and I'm like, you know what would be cool is this, but with more screen space. I have an iPad. And I quite enjoy Hearthstone Battlegrounds on the iPad. The only reason I play on desktop is because my desktop is hardwired into internet, and I'd say every third game on my iPad, I get the disconnect, reconnect, and it doesn't usually ruin my life, but it's scary enough to make me play hardwired in if I have the option to. In case you sit on it, maybe? I'd say I haven't sat on my phone in a while, but that's probably not true. I'm guilty of putting it in my back pocket if I feel like I don't know. My front pockets aren't convenient enough. So I'm gonna flight path myself to probably the Revendreth one, I would say. We can flight path ourselves over here, and then I am gonna take a real quick break. I'll be right back. Hi. I am wildly talented at filling up my water bottle and then forgetting to put it back on my desk. The worst part of upgrading the Covenant buildings are the souls. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm stuck at right now on my priest. Stuck is a strong word because I know how to get the souls. There's lots of places where there's lots of them. If you can stomach Torghast, you do like a Torghast run. One Torghast run with twisting corridors, or whatever, the vault thing at the end. Not twisting corridors. One Torghast run with adamant vaults is enough souls to do a batch of 20 of them. Doesn't take terribly long, but it's such a drag when you're not in the mood for it. I have enough. I'm trying to get my Ventier transport network upgraded right now, and I have enough anima to do my next rank of it, but I don't have any souls, and I don't want to go get them. Smart time to take a break. I wanted a smartphone to look things up while not on a PC. With friends, argue about something, you can just look up the answer. I think I probably ended up with a smartphone out of not peer pressure, but just kind of a peer osmosis, because I was working at, I had started working at the technology store, and my coworkers all had smartphones and they would use them for various things, and it just seemed kind of convenient. I didn't text a whole lot of people. I wasn't an avid texter or anything like that. I probably could have gotten by without one. I don't know what you said or when, but I now have the Hotline Bling song in my head. I don't know what I said either. We have been talking about like old era smartphones, and I feel like Hotline Bling must have been used to advertise them at some point. I did not have a BlackBerry. My sister had a BlackBerry. And then I remember when BlackBerry was huge. Because that was a Canadian brand, right? I remember when they were massive. And then I remember when they flopped. Because I worked in the store that sold them at the time. You could see the numbers. I remember when they tried to do their tablet. There was a BlackBerry tablet. And we couldn't pay people to take them. They would put them on sale, like they started at like 400 or whatever, like tablet price, and then they went on sale for 200, and then they went on sale for like 100, and you could barely get rid of them because they were locked into BlackBerry's own ecosystem, which everybody kind of knew was going under. For BlackBerry, never forget. You couldn't call your mother with her cell phone. So cool to have a BlackBerry, and then they weren't. I remember when it was like a whole thing of like business executives being addicted to their BlackBerries because they had just realized they could answer emails on the go. I could go look up if BB was Canadian on my smartphone. Still works, just like 11 years ago. I do enjoy doing that. I have discovered, though, that sometimes it's better for me to look up that kind of thing after the fact. One of the phones with the keyboard you could slide out to open. I had an LG Rumor. That was my last phone before the S2. I had an LG Rumor. It was blue. That thing was cool. It used to be research in motion. Brother had a BlackBerry, made fun of my iPhone. He's since switched. Was Canadian? Yeah, I thought so. I had another thought that I was going to share. Did I? Maybe it's gone now. I'm mostly just thinking about whether or not I'm going to make myself waffles for lunch. I've been meaning to eat more fruit. So I went to the grocery store last night. I have rediscovered that my favorite time to shop for groceries is like an hour and a half before the store closes, because it's so much nicer when you can just take your time and not feel like you're crowding anybody or that anybody's crowding you. It's just so much nicer to just, and especially because like I'm shopping without my glasses, and I just need to bring things closer to my face so that I can read them. But I picked up some I've got some frozen fruit, I've got some bananas, and I'm trying to think of, I mean, obviously I could do a fruit salad or I could just eat the fruit. But what if I made like a fruit sauce and then I put it on top of waffles with some bananas? Like, you know, now we're getting somewhere, I feel. Oh, I did this already. I did this one already. Okay, never mind. Wormhole's down for another 4 minutes, so let's just mail the existing pet charms over. Waffles for lunch. I think BlackBerry's working on self-driving car computers. Still have offices. Remember when I begged for a Sharp? Me and one friend has them. Not the standard brand in Sweden. Carb overload. Need some heavy cream or butter to balance. Eldorado, thank you for the 3-month reset. Switch game, send mail. Oh, no, I sent them already. Okay. Next character. We're up to 9581 with half an hour to go. I feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to get pretty close to 10K when noon comes around, and then if I'm close enough, I can just keep going. Do you beat WoW once you acquire the bauble worm? I would say that I beat pets once I acquire the bauble worm, but that's not true because there's more battle pets that I still need. The camera that spun around. So you can't do missions because this shaman is still 56. For some reason, I was convinced that I would have leveled the shaman to 60 at some point, like at least before Mage Tower, because I'm still missing rank 2 Windfury Totem, although I guess that's just for party members. I guess it doesn't really matter. I thought I was going to level it, and then I just never did, and now I don't know why I would, because the Mage Tower is over for me. The Sony Ericsson was the cool thing after BlackBerry in Ontario. Yeah, I kind of forget what was the thing after that. More battle pets you need that are much easier. That's true. I kind of fixated on this as being my next grind to finish just because I had already put in like a good chunk of work before the Mage Tower stuff started. So I wasn't that far off. You know, we'd started at like 2K, and then I'd kind of ground my way to like 5 or 6K over a couple weeks of streams back when I was multitasking the Hearthstone Battlegrounds and the WoW. And then I kind of very slowly incubated my pet charms up to 7K or so just by doing missions. And that was roughly where I started grinding again this time. I almost won my first pet battle yesterday. Need to get more pets up to 25. If you have, depending on where the world quests are, and also I forgot to heal my pets. If you have level 1 pets, try engaging the pet battle with all low-level pets, and it should scale down to you. The trouble is if you try to do it with like 1 high-level pets and a couple low-level pets, it will match, I think it will match the level of your highest level pet. So see if you can do it with like a team of low-level pets and see if that works any better for you. Because the Shadowlands ones at least should scale down to you. I had blocked the LG chocolate from my mind. I don't want my phone to remind me of food. I want to use my phone to acquire food. What's my next pet farm after this one? I got my writhing spine. I could start doing that daily out in Kunlai Summit, that new one that they added to try to get that parrot. Gizmo is a drop from Tazavesh. Ugh. This thing hates me. There's some maw pets that I still need. Also, I guess Gurgle. Gurgle would be pretty easy. Gurgle is quite cute, huh? There's maw pets that I still need. That thing will not drop for me. I tried. I guess rarity is a pretty easy one. I can, you know, maybe level a rogue, maybe poke around, get some extra lockboxes and just go in and do that. Second bobbleworm for the auction house? Yeah. I have no patience for selling high-ticket items. I don't have the personality for it. I will post something for its correct value once, and then the first time I have to repost it, I slash that price in half. I cannot be bothered to wait around, I don't think. Oh, level 57. Okay, so now we could go to Bastion, or yeah, we can wormhole to Bastion. And then here, well, Shadowlands wormhole to Bastion. And then we can Zandalar wormhole to go do Snakes in a Terrace. Sir Snips. Excellent idea. That's why I like raw gold. Add-on for the red marks on pets in the journal. Red marks on pets. Those are pets that have been... I think I have something... I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what add-on it is. There's something that I've done to filter out pets that I consider to be unobtainable. You know, like I'm not going to get a Murky at this point in my life. So it might be that I'm doing that, or maybe that's default. I love Dottie. Dolly and Dot are my best friends. I like the Dottie, the plush. It's one of my favorite WoW plushes. She's very soft. Toma Teleportation is... isn't it called Toma Teleportation? It should be in my add-on list. There should be a link to it in my add-on list. I did the same with the level 50 leatherworking pieces during Mage Tower. I sold many for 100 to 200 gold when I should have been 1k. Yeah. Need items that will sell within 1 week. Yeah, I've always enjoyed... That was why I liked... if I was going to be in the crafted items market, I liked enchants and I liked potions. Potions in particular are great because people burn through a lot of them, so they're pretty high sell rate. People will usually buy things like health potions and combat potions. Yeah. Yeah, Toma Teleportation is awesome. It's very light. I have a macro for it that I keybind on some characters to pull it up really quickly, but for the most part, I just type /tele to pull up the interface for it. It overwhelms me sometimes on my mages because they can teleport to a lot of places, but... I think I do want to start gold farming. I'm just, it's not next to my list. There's too many mounts and pets that I'm missing, and I feel like 9.2 is going to come out well before... 9.2 is going to come out well before I'm, like, done with all of this farming. Like, look at all the Shadowlands mounts that I still need. Look at these big gaps in Ventier and Necrolord in particular, because I haven't done the special systems. I'm going to get the other easy Ventier ones. So the Gravewing, these two Gravewings, and then I'd like to get the Hope Crusher mount, and I'd like to get the Battle Gargan and the Hierarcha mount. The Ember Court ones I'll come back to, the same way that I'm going to come back to the Queen's Conservatory ones and the Stitching ones. Tahanta's a... but I'm still like 0 of 3 Necro Ray eggs. Glory of the... Breaking the chain. So yeah, that bracelet is the one that I'll do when I kill just 3 more Tormentors of Torghast. So that one's not too bad. This one's pretty reasonable. This one I'm trying to farm. These 3 hate me. And then I need a bunch more of these ones. I left big gaps in my BFA mount collection too, actually, now that I look at it. I have big... I mean, I guess those are like Glory of the Raider achievements. That's a PvP one. And then you've got like the Frightened Kodo, Fabius, Rustfeather... Soundless, and the Mechagon ones. I really gave up on a bunch of the BFA ones. Class mounts, I have barely any of them. Class mounts would be a lot easier these days, but those won't count towards my character-specific mount count. Hope Crusher takes a while. Hope Crusher sucks. Oozing Necroray Egg is the biggest lie ever. Oxketty, thank you for the 9-month resub. Also, I don't know if I thanked Eldorado713 for their 3-month resub. Thank you so much. I gave up on selling the stuff for the Shadowborn quest. No one would buy them on my low pop server. Any idea when the Long Boys comes back? I do not know. I've heard tales of people struggling to find it up, or it just not being up. I don't know what's up with that. That's got to be frustrating. Wormhole Zandalar, that's the one. The Mechagon, the Nazjar rares, the Invasion rares suck. Long, inconsistent spawn timers. Yeah, I always figured I would go back and do that kind of thing, because my mount collection for the earlier expansions is pretty solid. I'm missing a handful of things. What is this? I definitely had the Vashir Seahorse. It's just not shown up there. I gave up on these ones. What is this? Glory of the Orgrimmar Raider. Is that hard to get? Maybe I need to do that. Glory of the Orgrimmar Raider. So rude if they Shadow Nerfed the BMH and took the Longboy off. I've always figured that there was just some kind of a bug that was making it not appear. Because I could have sworn that I've heard of people buying them for, like, gold cap. There's one that takes, like, 20 people for that one. Oh. Glory Orgrimmar Raider. I have a handful of them done from like back in the day. Complete spoils without any raid member defeating both a Mantid and a Mogu enemy. Oh.
I greet you.
Oh, I need to use my new scouting map. Toy box. I think this character might be ungilded, so she can probably just spam them. These things annihilate guild chat when you use them with achievements. It's a bit silly that there's no way to opt out of having your achievements shared to guild chat if you're in a guild. You can opt out of seeing guild achievements in your own chat window, but there's no way to not spam other people if you are in a guild. Needs multiple people, sure, stream would be willing to help. What's the one that needs like a lot of people? I'm wondering if I somehow have it already. Orgrimmar Raider. No more tears. Defeat a Mercius after killing 10 Tears of the Veil. The Dino versus Snail one needs 5. Rescue Raiders. Rescue a set of caged prisoners, a group of unwilling combat participants, and G Firepaw before defeating Dark Shamans. Oh, that seems easy enough. Unlimited Potential wants you to transform a corrupted Skull Splitter and then defeat Malkorok. Sure. Go Long. Transfer the Mark of Anguish to at least 5 unique players over a total of 200 yards or more during a single Desperate Measures phase, and then defeat Fallen Protectors. Okay, so that will need at least 5 unique players for sure. Fire in the Hole wants me to stomp on 6 superheated crawler mines. And then Crisscross, that was the... So it seems like a handful of these can be done with 2 people. Strike wants me to kill 18 Korkron Warburners with a single Iron Star. So that's probably just waiting for a bunch of things to spawn. Yeah. You would assume? Maybe it needs a bunch of people. I took a moment when there were very few people online in my guild to use all the scouting map toys in 20 characters. I feel for those 2 other guys online, but it had to be done. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that I would, you know, next time I'm on in the middle of the night, or I've just noticed a time when there's nobody on in Carbon, to just kind of rotate through my alts and just spam through all of them, because I do like having all of the flight paths learned and stuff. It's handy, but it's such spam. Go long I was thinking of, just easier. Oh, okay. Use them without remorse. Raid group usually does the old achieves at the end of the expansion. We did the org one before Shadowlands. Yeah, I feel like my raid team often talks about how we'll do achievements at the end of the expansion, and 9 times out of 10 we don't do it. People just kind of scatter to the winds. 10k pet charms is for the Flawless Amethyst Bobbleworm pet. Flawless Amethyst Bobbleworm. It puts a rainbow trail on you sometimes. I have 9,618 now, so I need less than 400 more. Yeah. It's the most expensive pet charm pet in the whole game. They added it ages ago. I think it was added with Shadowlands. I just did not farm it until now. Raid team does glory after we've cleared it on heroic. Let my entire guild know the glory and splendor I'm using by using all the counting maps at once. Yeah, I've definitely spammed Squirrel Squad a few times. They only added it with 9.1. That might be true. 9.1 and 9.0 really blurred together in my head. Yeah. Will I have it? I guess I will. I don't have a current battle pet that I'm trying to show off all that much. How did you teach yourself pet fighting? Pet battles came out in Mists of Pandaria. They were added to the game in Mob, and I was playing at the time, and I thought it was kind of exciting that, hey, there's this whole new game mode that just came out, so maybe I have a chance to get in on the ground floor and figure out what's going on, because up until that point, I had started the game in, like, Wrath, and I had felt kind of, like, eternally behind on figuring everything out. I spent the first couple of expansions feeling kind of silly that I didn't know everything everybody else seemed to already know. So when they added a new system that was brand new, and I was there at the very beginning of it, I thought, yes, this is my time. So I you know, figured out what there was to know at the time. It was a little simpler back then. Made some YouTube videos, and then more or less just kept up with whatever WoW had posted as news, is more or less. These days I don't even make pet strategies anymore. There's a website, a fan site that I like to use, wow-pet guide. Zufu's Pet Strategies. This is an awesome site where you can just kind of look up your world quest, and they have rematch strings and TD scripts, which both feed into pet add-ons. I'm using a rematch team and a matching TD script to both have my team and my strategy here, and then if I press the A key over and over again, it picks the next move for me. I'm not manually doing, I mean, I am doing the fight, but am I? You know, it's not cheating, but it's also not difficult. Okay, so then I need to go, do I have my wormhole back up? Shadowlands wormhole is on cooldown for another 4 minutes. My Hearthstone will take me to Sinfall. She still needs to do, or she could still do, the Maldraxxus one. I think we give up on the Maldraxxus one. We just go home, mail off the charms, do the next character. Hopefully you won't run out of alts to do these on today. I'm not even out of alts that can do Shadowlands stuff. I think that I haven't run the numbers. I didn't do the math, but I have a good feeling. Just based on the fact that I have a gross amount of characters, and this is their one time to shine, you know? The one time that they're actually good for something. So I take my pet charms. We're up to 9637. We mail off the bulk of them, and then next character. And we start with these ones. So these are all the ones that are just going to do that one Vol'dun quest that we've been doing. So they're just going to wormhole to Zandalar. The reason I'm wormholing instead of using, I guess I can check the Borealis boat if any of the characters are in Borealis to see if I have the Vol'dun teleport, but a lot of these characters didn't do enough of the war campaign to have it, and I don't really remember which ones do. So I guess if they're already in Borealis, I'll check real quick, you know. I'll take a real short look at here just to see, because that is a much closer teleport than just risking the wormhole if I have the Vol'dun port, but if I don't, then that's fine. using your No More Gone guide recently. Getting the pets together is far more of a commitment than I thought it would be. Yeah, pet dungeons, setting up for pet dungeons is quite the project if you don't already have the pets leveled up. I got kind of lucky in that I had just arbitrarily decided once upon a time that I was just going to level all of the pets that I had because it was good for my Warcraft pet score. If you look at Warcraft pets, I do love my WoW fan sites. If you look at Warcraft pets, they can assign you a score on their website based on the amount of pets that you have, the amount of the rarity percentage. It says that according to Warcraft pets profiles, I am 4th on Lightbringer. I have the 4th best pet collection on Lightbringer if we count for things like how many pets are leveled, because my average pet level is 24.9. They're almost all leveled. There's a handful that aren't, but they're functionally almost all leveled. And I had just kind of done that for pet completion. And then when pet dungeons came out and they were like, well, you need 25 pets that are level 25, I said, okay, done. It's not difficult to level pets up. The trouble is there's a lot of pets. So if you want to level all of your pets up, it's less of a sprint and more of a marathon. It's a project that's taken me many years. I've been working on it kind of the whole time that I've been working on my collection. I got all of the pets leveled that I had in Warlords, and then I've been trying to level new pets as I get them ever since. The bird mounts. Oh yeah, the Falcosaurs require me to put together a pet battle team. How many 60s do I have? How many 60s do I have? 5? Night Elf Priest, Human Priest. Hunter 1, Hunter 2. Druid. Yeah, 5 60s and then a 57. Yeah, that sounds true. The Lightforged Hunter completely replaced the Night Elf Hunter. They serve exactly the same purpose. I just wanted to level another hunter. Oh yeah, the Fire Mage, 6. You're absolutely right. I completely forgot about my Fire Mage. Hello, hope you're having a wonderful day. Hello. I forgot about her too. Yeah, I guess it is 6. 1860s, what am I doing with my life? I don't feel a strong need to have 60s over 50s because I can still pet charm farm on 50s if there's pet charms in Zandalar or Kultiras. Yeah. The Night Elf Hunter is easy to forget because she's good for nothing. Miss the Volterra Survival Hunter? Yeah, she was, I think, Hazeline or Hazelina. She's on my Horde server. She was the one that was lucky enough to get the midnight drop, I think. 24 60s, 23 more at 50. I mean, it's handy for stuff, you know? If you're a collector and you like farming things, it can be very useful to have a lot of high-level alts. If I was the kind of person that wanted to farm the Heartbreaker mount, formerly known as Love Rocket, then I would very much want... to... Oh, I guess these characters, I did start them, so I could actually go to Bastion, and I could do the Bastion World Quest 2 on my level 50. That's right, because I Threads of Fated a bunch of these characters. Exact same name as your main. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was maybe, I guess that was the first time I named a character that. Yeah, these characters get experience from doing this, which is kind of handy. Super nice. 9656. Yeah, we can do this. I will be over a bit. I'm guessing by about a half an hour, 40 minutes maybe, because I need another 324-ish, and I'm getting like 20 per world quest. 50s can farm the Heartbreaker mount? I guess I don't know that for sure. I guess maybe not, but usually just having high level alts is useful for that kind of thing. 1400 total, 14 unique. I thought it was 1403 to be honest with you. For some reason my priest shows more. But yeah, I don't do doubles. I like keeping my total pet number identical to my unique number so that if I have any doubles, then I know I have an extra to sell. Yeah, I've been sort of doing pet charm mission tables along the way. I haven't been checking the BFA table because it's a pain in the butt, and I don't know, I'm too lazy for that. I'm not too lazy to fly all over the world doing pet dailies, but the BFA table is too far. Still going for human priest, or is it time for the gnome again? I haven't really thought about next expansion. I've enjoyed being a human priest though. I've enjoyed, wearing the different outfits. I've enjoyed having the rep. It's so hard to get away from 10% free rep on your main when you're farming reps for stuff, you know? Can you see Legion bonus quests? I don't know why. Legion, what do you mean by like bonus objectives? Broken Isles. I do have bonus objectives up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something reset them. Hopefully good luck with the rocket falls to all who try. Yeah, I haven't really tried for that one for a while. It's one of those grinds that is just so unlikely. It's just so rare that you can take an entire account's worth of characters and you can do it. You can spend all day every day during the event and you can run it like 50 times a day and even then you have a pretty good chance to not get them out that year. It just feels like in a lot of things with WoW, you can kind of overwhelm bad odds with just sheer determination. But with that one, it feels like the odds are so bad that it feels almost like it's more out of your control, even though nothing's in your control in this game. But it feels even further out of reach. I vote Dwarf main. Extra rep from extra Paragon caches is extra gold. This is true. This is true. How do you decide which pets to keep in the stable? In like my pet collection or in a hunter stable? I'm not a huge hunter pet collector. I pretty much just keep the hunter pets that I need. For this one, I would just get rid of duplicates, and then if I have more than one breed, I might keep the breed that does more damage or is faster, but that doesn't come up very much. Some people like to min-max their pet breed. I do not min-max my pet breed. It seems like too much work. I just don't care that much. Yeah, and we can go back to Snug Harbor. That's fine. Seems like too much. So that's 96.76. If I'm willing to handle flight paths, then I can, if I'm willing to do flight paths, then I can get more and I can do more experience on these characters by doing Maldraxxus and then Revendreth. But without the wormhole cooldown, maybe I'll just mail charms, log over, and then I'll let the wormholes cool down, you know? Like I'll do Maldraxxus first. On these, I'll do Vol'dun Maldraxxus, or not Maldraxxus, Bastion. And then when the wormholes come off cooldown. I'm trying to not waste too much time in travel time and stuff. I got super lucky with the rocket, 105th attempt. Wow. Running it this year, but not actually bothered about the mount. Yeah. I think it's the only holiday mount that I'm realistically missing. Because I have Headless Horseman, you know, I have both the Brewfest mounts. There's not that many rare holiday mounts, are there? But that one's just beyond me. A pet setup that's best to use, new to pets and the game. So every fight has its own, you know, characteristics. So different pets will do better against different fights. But there's a handful of pets that are kind of universally good that you can pair up in a lot of fights. This website, Warcraft Pets, is a great resource for getting used to battle pets. Is this a good list? There's like the top rated pets, but this is a little bit outdated. They've got these are good pets, mind you, but these were also good pets a couple of expansions ago. Icky is very good still, even after the nerf, and I don't see it anywhere up here. Minion of Grumpus. I do have a Minion of Grumpus. That is true, though. That is a holiday pet. I forgot about that one. Or rather, holiday mount. Do you think Blizzard will nerf the Mage Tower next time? I don't think so. I think that if they were going to, they would have done it the first rotation. I could be wrong. Maybe they will. I think there will always be people that are happy with it, and there will always be people that aren't happy with it. And with something as polarizing as the Mage Tower, both sides are going to be pretty loud about it, so they can't win. There's no making everybody happy with the Mage Tower. Made some jalapeno cheddar cornbread waffles. Oh, you're living. Yeah, let's see what the Zufu list looks like. They must have info, tools, guides. Yeah, let's see. Most used pets. Here you go. There you go. That's the list that you want. Those are the tier 1 pets that are most commonly used in strategies. That's the stuff. Those are 5 good ones. I would Icky Starlet for sure. And then, yeah, this is a good, if you're looking for which pets to level, working your way down that list will get you pretty far. I would make sure that you do either a Nexus Whelpling or Stormborn pretty early, because that's, yeah, Nexus Whelpling's up here. That's the same combo. You do the Arcane Storm, the Mana Surge. Yeah, where's the, yeah, the Ankle Render is right there at the top of tier 2. Anubis South Idol's still pretty good. Is anything surprising me from this? I've never used a Crimson Spore. I wonder why that one shows up so much. Kunlight Runt. I remember that. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any shame at all in wiping a lot on the Mage Tower. I think it shows persistence. Website the most used was on? Yeah. Wow, Pet Guide. This is my most used resource for battle pet stuff. They're fantastic. They're really good. Do you have a Cogblade Raptor? I do. I have not every battle pet, but I have almost every battle pet. I have almost all of them leveled up. I have 95% of them collected and leveled up. Couple that still need upgrades, but okay, so I wanted to do that one, and then I wanted to do /Telly. We open up the wormhole, the Shadowlands wormhole, assuming that I remembered to do it. Maybe I didn't remember to do it. What I could do though is, because she does have engineering, we can go to Stormwind, we can go to Ouroboros, we can learn Shadowlands Engineering, and then Wormhole to Bastion, because I just want to get the experience plus the 20 charms for that one. So we just pop on over here. I made a whole new alt to level pets and then ditch the pets after level 14. We're in Hall of Shapes, which is right here. Because I must have just not trained, yeah, Shadowlands Engineering. There we go. So now I should be able to use the Shadowlands wormhole. Perfect. If you have the Tyrael Pet. I don't think so. I think that's one of the older collector's ones that I didn't have. Bastion. There we go. I share your feelings for Darkmoon, so I just went there to get the mounts. Dislike fishing. They haven't added a fishing grind in a while, have they? Was there a Shadowlands fishing mount? I thought... I think I'm confusing with the BFA one. I like fishing grinds, actually. I haven't done one in a minute, but I enjoy them. I enjoyed that in BFA. And I don't know if this made me do like an awful lot of fishing, but in BFA, the fish oil thing meant that fish always had kind of like a base value. There's a fishing grind in 9.2. Please don't mention fishing grinds. You'll give them ideas. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if I had the Tyrael Pet. I don't think I do. No. I have a Rusty Root Snooter. $12,000 in eBay. Oh goodness. Hello all. Hello Katie. We're working on pet charms and we're getting closer. We are up to 9,695. I feel like once I get to 9.7, 9.8, we'll start to really taste it. It is technically stream ending time, but I don't think I can walk away with only, 305 charms left to go. Falling asleep while fishing. Hard enough getting the Pocket Ocean toy. Been rumors of a Pet Battle Mobile thing for years. I'm very curious if these are rumors that started from them actually working on it, or if it's just something that people want. I mean, I guess it could be both, but, people have been talking about them making a WoW mobile game, or a WoW themed, or a WoW adjacent mobile game, aside from just having the mission table on the phone app, for a long time, because there's been pretty solid and fairly reputable rumors that Blizzard is trying to make mobile games, and they're trying to put out and make more mobile games for their existing IP and then potentially new IP, but I think mostly existing IP. There's been, Kotaku articles and leaks and whatever. We don't know anything for sure, but there's been a lot of rumors, and people just kind of look at WoW and they think, hey, the pet battle system would be it would make sense. It's a very touch-friendly thing. You've got big buttons. And people think it would work really well. And I wonder if if there's rumors that they were actually trying to do it or not, because the thing that would mostly make sense to put in a mobile game would be pet battle PvP, because if you do PvE, then you kind of run into this thing where you don't have any travel time if you're just doing your pet dailies on your phone. So it's better to do them on your phone than to do them in game, because you don't have to head all the way out there. Whereas with pet PvP, that's something that you just queue up for through an interface in the game anyway, so it would be exactly the same on the phone. But the trouble is, almost nobody pet PvPs. Pet battle PvP is one of the most niche things in the game, to the point that even though there's no MMR at all, the queue times are horrible outside of the pet battle bonus event, and that's with no matchmaking, right? So I don't know that having it on the phone would make it any better. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on mobile games. I think it's quite likely they're working on a mobile game with the WoW IP beyond just Hearthstone. I don't know that it's the pet battle thing, though. Did not know there was pet battle PvP. I thought it was only versus the trainers in the world. Yeah, in your pet journal, there's this find battle button that will match you up against another player. It just, it takes a while, and then the pet battle meta is quite different in PvP than it is in PvE. So people that pet PvP will have very specific teams that most of the time will stomp all over anybody that is just trying to use their regular pets. So people will get discouraged by people that are more experienced who are just trying to farm out their titles, because there's achievements for winning, you know, many pet battle PvP matches. I was looking for this mailbox so I can mail off my pet charms. And then I feel like I do one more character like this. We do the Druid. Anti-PvP anything. The add-on that gives me that auto button is TD script. You need to feed it with a script. So each fight I have a script saved to the rematch team for each pet. And I get my scripts off of this website. And it's just, it's basically articulating the strategy that is recommended there. I was going to go to Voldoon. Hello. Wow, I cannot type. Oh, you know why? My keyboard's not working. What if I turn it off and back on again? Average wait time is only 2 minutes right now. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Every now and then, every long now and then, I get into a phase where I say, my L key is not working. Is the Y key working? Okay. I've said hey in guild chat. I want everybody to know. I wanted to say hello, but for whatever reason, it's just in WoW too. I bet you if I open up like a notepad, I can type L's all day long. Every now and then I get this weird issue with WoW. It's probably one of my add-ons where some of my letter keys just won't work. I can't type with some of my letter keys. Same thing happens with my 4 button. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. It happens to me. I lose the L. Weird. I wonder why. It's a relatively new thing in that I feel like it's a year or less old. It's the strangest issue I've ever had, because I thought my keyboard was going until I realized it worked in other applications. I couldn't use it in WoW. I thought I had it figured out, but now I don't remember. It's okay, I can just say hey. Look at all these sea stocks. No L, only W. There you go, that's why. It's my up arrow key for me. I wonder if I've done something with my keybinds or my macros, where instead of activating type, it's like trying to activate, I don't know. You can type with keys that you've keybound, though. That's why whenever I have my chat window open, I can't fight. I can only type nonsense. Very strange. I hope my desk gets delivered next week. I guess they probably won't call me on a weekend. There's plenty of companies that only work on business days, so maybe I should expect something tomorrow. I'm gonna have to make some room. I felt like I had the place pretty cleaned up because I was all unpacked, but then I continued being unpacked for a while. My stuff's kind of migrated. I have like a pile of recycling for next recycling day. I have a pile of cookware that my mother lent me that's ready to go back to her. My end key, I thought my talents were broken or I wasn't allowed to change them. TD battle script, best invention since sliced bread. I resisted it for a long time. People were recommending TD script to me for years before I finally caved and did it, because I always figured it was like too close to cheating. I was like, oh, you know, I'm here to play the game. And then, you know, if you're trying to figure out a new strategy, sure, there is some fun to be had sorting out what it is that you want to do and then playing it for yourself. I will not deny that TD script takes all of the game out of pet battles. But when you're doing the same fight hundreds of times, as is kind of encouraged for grinds like the Flawless Amethyst Bobbleworm, I don't know. I don't feel a strong need to do it manually every time. Same thing with the Super Squirt Day leveling. I kind of got over my need to press the buttons on my own. Have you ever healed on a Resto Shaman? Always healed on a Holy Priest. Wonder if I would enjoy it. I've had Resto Shaman alt phases. I tend to level them, and then I don't play them a ton at level 60, but they're fun in dungeons. I've always enjoyed having totems that you put down that heal people for you. It kind of reminds me of Lightwell back in the day. So we're going to Bastion. Yeah, Resto Shaman's fun. It's not that dissimilar from Holy Priest. It's got some of the some similar tools. You have your fast, expensive heal in Healing Surge, and then your slow, efficient one in Healing Wave, I think, still, unless they got rid of Healing Wave. You have your Riptide, which functions a little bit like a Renew. It's not exactly the same, but you've got your Hot that you can put out. You've got, it maps relatively well to Holy Priest. It's not that dissimilar, and it's got beautiful animations. The water-based animations are gorgeous. Lightwell, that thing no one clicked. Yeah, I miss Lightwell. There was the clickable version, and then there was the auto Lightwell, and then they went back to the clickable Lightwell, and then they went, nobody likes Lightwell, and I miss it. Even when nobody clicked it. I haven't tried HPAL, although enough people have been mentioning it lately that I might be persuaded to at least level in Holy Paladin alt just to kind of see what they do. I missed chakras. Oh, I forgot about chakras. Remind me what they did. Priest got so mad when people spam clicked it. Oh, man. I like Priest. I miss healing dungeons. I guess when the raid comes out, I'll get to raid heal again. How are we doing pet charm wise? 97.34. 97.34. So I think I'm probably best off just continuing doing this pair, Vol'dun and then Bastion. If I want to, I could log back on to the top character, to my Void Elf Priest. I could log back on to her, and then her wormhole's off cooldown, so she could wormhole to like another one, do it, and then mail the stuff off. But I think the best move is just to keep doing this, because I have enough characters that can do this. I miss them purely from an aesthetic standpoint. It was like a stance. One for damage, one for single target. That's right, there was the red one. The red one was damage. Yeah. In the action, healing with instant spells. That's what makes me think I won't like it, is because I enjoy healing back from the action. I want to view the action from a safe distance. How did you overcome the fear of people getting mad at you as a healer? Time and experience. I think I was quite afraid. And for a long time, I would only do content that I was over-geared and over-prepared for, because I wanted to be the best player in the room, so that either people wouldn't yell at me or I would know that they were full of it. So for a long time, I wouldn't put myself in anything that I thought would even slightly stretch my abilities, because I was very afraid of being underprepared. And then eventually, just over years of just continuing to do it, I reached a point where I'd say it's half experience that I feel like I know what I'm doing well enough for what I'm trying to do. A little bit of having grown a slightly thicker skin, But mostly people can't whisper me because my add-on filters it out. So if I'm getting hate whispers, I never see them. That helps a lot too. Blue was group healing, yellow was single target. Yeah, I'd like to pretend that I'm a bigger person, but it's probably just that I don't see it. I am still kind of overly sensitive to criticism. That's a character flaw of mine. I think a lot of former perfectionists will feel that way. Especially if it's from somebody that I perceive to be like an authority figure, and even if it's like extremely polite and very sensitively put, you know, it's just so easy to take it like way out of context, way too far. I am going to mailbox. There we go. I absolved myself of all pug anxiety back in Destiny. I had to actually DM people to get into raids in that game. I'll heal PvP, but no PvE. Don't feel comfy healing over 10s. Interesting to me that you'll do PvP but not PvE, because to me, PvP is way scarier because people get so mad. I know people get mad in PvE too, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm less afraid of PvE ragers than I am of PvP ragers. I don't know why. I'm not particularly scared of anybody, but I don't know. There's something just so silly about, like, at least when you're frustrated about another player besting you, that's the kind of, I don't know, the rage that you get in sports and whatever that's millennia old that I really understand. But when someone's so frustrated about, you know, the pixel dragon that they're abusing other people, it's just so silly that I can't take it seriously. People that are just like losing it over PvE, I can't deal. I can't empathize. I'm sorry. You know, it's, I'm invested, but not to the point that we're going to be mean to people. That's just silly. We're heading to VoD. So if I port to Borealis, I can probably port there. I have 2 friends. They are very nice, lovely people. I don't heal anyone else, just them. I feel that. Trying to appreciate the saying that practice makes progress. Mm-hmm. It can be tough too, especially when you don't see your own progress. I tend to fall in the trap that I know that I have to practice to get better. I understand that. So I will put in time, but I must have some secret equation for when I feel like I should have gotten better by now, because I'll put in a bunch of time and then I'll be like, but I practiced. I don't feel like I'm better enough, or I don't feel like I'm getting any better. And I'll get very frustrated with that. Frustrated with myself, mind you, not to the point that I'm, you know, harassing anybody else. But I was experiencing that with the Guardian Druid challenge, where I was like, I've been working on this and I'm not any better. What's up with that? And I would get very mad at myself that I wasn't improving fast enough, even though you can't really, it can be hard to see your own progress when you're too close to it. And it's also, sometimes progress isn't entirely linear. Sometimes it's not one straight flat line. Get more annoyed at tanks and healers. Some do forget that they're only as good as the healer healing them. Jeppy, thanks for giving that a gift sub. I played some PvP back when you had to do that one area to get a dragon mount. Huh. I missed the WoW background. It'll come back. I've got a little bit of it. There's Deathwing down there. There's the Moonkin. They're just behind me because I didn't want to mount anything, and I'm too lazy to drag the shelf over here for now. When my desk comes, which hopefully is soon, I have every finger crossed is soon, I can start to set up my background again. Yeah. If only self-awareness was the only thing you needed, though. At one point, I figured that if I was only self-aware about my flaws, then I would just be a great person. And it turns out that knowing what's wrong with you doesn't always help you fix it. I was in Aspires recently. 3rd boss, just doing my business. Step slightly to the side of the boss, and tank just stops everything. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm most stressed in PvP in 3s, mostly because I don't want my own failures to let down my teammates, and in 3s, your own failures explicitly let down your teammates. Like, one good mistake will tank the entire game for everybody, and it's very frustrating to feel like you know, your teammates have been doing their best and maybe they were about to do something really cool or they were feeling good about their gameplay, but it doesn't matter what they did because you didn't shift a poly and now the game's over. That was the hardest thing for me, and that is still the hardest thing for me to overcome whenever I try to Q3s, is the knowledge that there's no way for me to have my mistakes only affect me. I can't just do the Dark Souls thing or the Mage Tower thing where I just torment myself in a box alone until I'm better at it. There's no way to do that. You have to play with other people. Which means that you have to get comfortable with letting other people down and having them let you down sometimes, because otherwise nobody's getting any better. With a new desk coming in, does this mean we're going to get a new office turret? Eventually. I gotta get it set up, which is gonna need some furniture, and I'm kind of wanting to like procrastinate until I get all of my stuff, and I haven't even decided an office rug. I guess I can do my tour before I get my rug in. I can do a rug update later on down the road. So now I would go to, I want the Shadowlands wormhole. Do I have a Shadowlands wormhole? This is what I say about mages, is they're too much. Here, we can go to Stormwind. And then Ouroboros. Because I don't see Ouroboros here, so maybe this character, oh no, this character hasn't unlocked that stuff yet. I could just keep doing Voldoon. Or I could, okay, well, she needs to just mail off these pet charms. How many more do I need? I need another 227. So 1, 2, 5, 10, 11 more, like 12 dailies or so. So if I do 2 more on 6 characters, 6, yeah. I've already checked my missions on Forge. I have some that have been sent out, but they won't be back for a while. This would be pretty fast to do. You can skip stuff. I'm already here. I'll do Bastion in this character. It won't take very long. We head over here, we skip a cutscene, we skip to Ouroboros, we choose Threads of Fate, we pick up Shadowlands Engineering, and then we port over there. So we go here, we go 1 Ouroboros, please. Yep, and the downside to pugging, it's entirely transactional, so letting people down doesn't feel as bad. Yeah. I've almost gotten to a point where I'm more comfortable with letting down like Flabby and Silver Kitty, even though I know that they're dramatically better than me, because I feel like they've been playing with me long enough to understand what they're getting themselves into. They know what they're signing up for at this point. I feel like they are fully aware of the consequences of queuing with me. So I don't feel so bad when I do a Hazel thing anymore, because they know. It's when I spring it on somebody who's not prepared that I start to feel bad. What do you think about dragons? If hints prove true, are you excited for it? I think it would be a nice change of pace. I would like to go back to Azeroth. I would like to go back to more normal feeling stories. I'm on board with that general trend. I feel like I agree that we've been getting a bit cosmic lately and want something normal, but I think dragons could be normal. I'm down for dragon zones, I'm down for a dragon race, I'm down for a dragon class. Whatever they want. How are you doing today, Hazel? I'm doing pretty good. Your daily reminder that you're lucky to have a raid of people. Ooh, okay. And then the problem with the Bastion one is that even though it's 20 pet charms, it's kind of far from the wormhole point. Hubby always laughs when I play my main hunter. Suddenly hears me say, oops, because I tabbed to pull a bunch of mobs. Rathion's Draconic Island Adventure. I want more fat dragons. More fat dragons. Do we have existing fat dragons? There must be somewhere. Never even considered a dragon race. I've always envisioned them as being kind of like Worgen, in that you have your dragon form in combat that maybe looks different depending on what your spec is, and then you have your non-dragon form that you can do out of combat, but instead of being limited to the human like Worgen have, you could pick like any race in the game. Galakron was a fat dragon. Living the life on my gold hoard. I'm doing that, but on my pet charm hoard, except that I'm prepared to part with my pet charm hoard for 1 flawless amethyst bobbleworm. Do you think that we'll get an announcement for whatever the next X-Pack is before we take down the jailer? I don't know. I don't know when they're going to announce the next stuff. Maybe. Maybe not. I can see the appeal of wanting to have something for people to look forward to. I think if it was up to me, I would want them to make that announcement like give it like 3 or 4 weeks after the jailer becomes available, so like 5 weeks or so after, 5 or 6 weeks after the patch launches, whatever it may be. Because I want, as a player, I want to do the raid, or at least get into the raid. I want to watch the race to world first, and I want to kind of let the climax of Shadowlands settle for just like a minute before I start thinking about the next thing. Because I feel like last expansion, was it last time that we had the Shadowlands announcement before we got to kill N'Zoth or whatever? I felt like I was not as excited to do Ny'alotha because I was worried about what they were doing in Shadowlands. Like the overlap kind of spoiled the end of the raid for me. I was too forward looking. So I want them to give it just a little tiny bit of space to breathe. Obviously we don't want to be languishing forever with nothing to even look forward to. But I wouldn't mind if it had like a tiny gap, yeah. Right after we defeat the jailer, depending on what happens during or after the fight. What if the expansion trailer triggers after someone kills the jailer? So like everybody's, eyes on the world first race, and then a guild finally kills it, and then the cinematic plays and nobody knew. Do you think it's understandable that people are main game designers leaving Blizzard? I'm sure it must be. People do things for all kinds of reasons. Did you steal my thoughts? That would be so cool. I can already see the forum posts about people that want to see it in game themselves and don't want to look it up on YouTube and then don't want to do the raid. I've always been fairly amenable to just looking it up on YouTube. Basic roadmap. Tentative XPAC release quarter. No info about it. Yeah. I want I just want hints. I don't need big details yet. I wouldn't say no to big details, although it can be kind of easy to get too overwhelmed. Hope they merge factions so I can have Night Elf Druid and still play with friends. Drop the reveal on the Mythic first kill. Mythic only phase where the players are inside the cutscene and you need to find a player that's got relatively stable camera to actually watch it. Oh, they should not do that and they will not do that, but how funny would that be? My favorite thing to do is just to brainstorm things that Blizzard should not do that would make people angry. Okie dokie. So we're up to 97, 93. I'm going to rotate back up we're going to scroll back up the list and go back to her because her wormhole should be off cooldown. She can go to Revendreth now. I checked to make sure that the Revendreth world quest is there because some of them are phased, but the first kill, people get perma into the cutscene, terrible mogs and all. Oh, that would be funny. Okay, so if I check my map and I see that Revendreth has one, because sometimes there's just phasing's weird. Wormhole's off cooldown, so we can wormhole over. Her Hearthstone takes her to Snug Harbor, so we're just gonna do this. I don't know if they'll do a new class. I don't think they have to introduce a new class. I think that there's this idea that they do it on a schedule, and I don't think that's true at all. I think that, new races, sure, because it's pretty safe to add new races to the game, but classes are risky to add and they're permanent to add. So I don't blame them for being really cautious about adding classes. I think it would be exciting and fun if they added a new class, and it's been a long time since we've had one, but I wouldn't surprise me if they didn't do it. When people thought Tinkers were going to be the next class. I've heard Tinkers, I've heard Dark Rangers, I've heard Blood Mages, mostly from me. I've heard people say they were going to add more specs onto existing classes. I've heard all kinds of things. If you want ideas and speculation of what new classes they could add, you go do BFA Island Expeditions and you look at all the NPC classes, because there's NPCs that have classes and toolkits that we do not have as players. Those are cool. A 4th spec or a 5th spec. I don't think they're going to do, I've talked about this before, I don't think they're going to do the new specs onto existing classes things because it's harder to market and because it complicates things for people who already play those classes. Yeah. so many races in BFA that I don't really want the next XPAC to only add a new race. I do feel like they've kind of saturated with new races. I wouldn't mind them continuing to add more, especially now that you have the interface in the character creation screen to fit quite a few of them. But I don't know if I need them to come quite as quickly as they did for a while with the allied races. I would be fine with like one cool new race per expansion. Like I thought Volpera were pretty cool. Those are pretty unique and new. Yeah, class skins I thought was cool because that wouldn't require any new class design or balance. You could just have new cosmetics for it. I like that. The T&E idea. Expanded the glyph system. Mm-hmm. Up until a year ago, in a raiding guild, we almost religiously used your vids to teach new people the fights. Thanks for everything. Oh, cheers. Thank you. I always like hearing that people use the raid guides. Sometimes I forget that people actually watch them. I just make them as an exercise. If they add more races that aren't priests, that way you won't feel compelled to level another one. What do you mean more races that aren't priests? Add more races that are priests. Give me new priests. More double-sided races. I would be fine with no new races and then just let us change factions. You don't even have to merge the factions. I would like it if you merged the factions, or at least made it so that you could, you know, PvP and raid and queue and quest with people from either faction. But failing that, just let me make an undead character and then let me defect her to the Alliance. I'll do it. Don't think I won't do it. I need a mailbox. Townsfolk mailbox. There's got to be one close by. I guess I can always just hearth. I can just hearth, and the Snug Harbor Inn has one. Favorite XPAC launch. I enjoyed Kata's launch with the cleaned up talent trees. It's interesting because a lot of expansions launch in a very different state and with different moods than what they turned out to be. Because MoP, pretty widely considered a really good expansion now, MoP had kind of a messy launch that was very grind heavy and a little bit buggy. You know what? I actually really liked... I'm trying to remember what the BFA launch was like. I've kind of forgotten. But the Warlords launch. So not the early Warlords launch, because you guys might remember Warlords was broken. The servers died. Warlords was unplayably bad in terms of server stability for the first like 2.5 weeks-ish. For the first little bit, because they had so many people come back and they weren't ready for it. And that was what eventually led them to develop, I believe anyways, that was when they developed sharding so that you could have multiple instances on the same server to help split people up so that the servers wouldn't just die. But after they figured that out, Warlords of Draenor, before people got sick of garrisons, at the very beginning, I remember the first like 2 months of Warlords, leveling, working through the garrisons, collecting stuff, doing dungeons with my friends. I ran so many dungeons in the beginning of Warlords with my guild, and it was so fun getting geared up for raid. We were all real excited for the beginning of WoD. WoD kind of fizzled later, but that first couple of months after the server issues and before, you know, people got bored of the garrisons were like a magical time. We are looking for Revendreth. Did not enjoy Mist launch with all the daily quests. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, the WoD leveling was really good. I liked Heimal as a raid. I liked Heimal a lot. My problem with WoD, I think that WoD would have been fine for me, maybe not for other people, but for me, WoD would have been great if they had already invented World Quests and Mythic Plus, because it just needed a little bit more to fill it out. It had lots of cool collecting to be done. It had interesting profession grinds. I liked the lunker fishing. The herb and the mine in the garrison kind of ruined gathering for the expansion, but the pet and the mount farms were good. I liked the raid. I liked the dungeons. I liked the pet battle content. The trouble was just that, and the PvP I liked quite a lot as well, Asher aside. The trouble was that there wasn't enough really to do, and I think that if you had had Mythic Plus and you had had World Quest, it would have been perfect for me. Maybe a better zone, maybe like a better hub, you know, if they had actually done, because I thought that there was some talk of them doing bigger capital cities aside from just Storm Shield and War Spear that they abandoned at some point in development, and I think that would have been better too. Like if we'd been a little more out of the garrison and in like a cool capital city, plus World Quest and Mythic Plus would have been awesome. The lunker fishing, I had blocked that out. Oh yeah, that's true. People were mad about the pruning, that's true. The rep stuff was awful. I've forgotten the rep. Tanan Jungle was kind of neat. Tanan Jungle was kind of like the one big patch that they did do that had some cool stuff in it. Yeah, Karabor, that's right. Karabor would have been really helpful also. Big Ogre Citadel and Frostfire's capitals. I want them to stop abandoning every system they try. I think that if they keep all the systems, it'll get too complicated though. And I think that if they never do any systems, it would be kind of boring. I think they could probably try fewer systems and have like a few less concurrents. But I think that having things that are only for unexpansion are a great way for them to try different things without having to commit to them fully. And then they can take the pieces that worked and leave behind the pieces that didn't work. I think that model works fine. I am going to mail these, I guess, and then log on to another character. We're at 9827, so only 100 and, you know, a little under 200. Did you ever do the PvP garrison building scenario? No. PvP garrison building? I remember the garrison invasions, but those were PvE. I still need a couple mounts from those, honestly. And then I get on this character, and then I wormhole her to Revendreth. I want class halls back. I liked the armor racks in class halls. I hope that if they ever do another version of player housing that's a little more customizable, that they give us some armor racks so we can display completed collected armor sets, because I really like that. Those Legion and class hall armor racks were what got me into collecting full transmog sets from raids. I ran a lot of raids just for fun back at the time. Yeah, I think Covenant Halls fill the class hall void well enough for me. The free-for-all glad building thing. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. I hope archaeology comes back. I feel like archaeology needs, and this is a vaguely hot take, archaeology needs disgusting grinds. In the last couple of expansions, archaeology has been given much more reasonable, much more easy to do grinds. They give you some weird heirloom trinkets nobody uses. They give you a couple pets that nobody remembers. And then you finish the archaeology within the first month of the expansion and you never touch it again. I think that archaeology is the type of profession that is best suited for people who are insane. And the type of people that enjoy archaeology, I'm not saying don't put easy things on it too. Sure, put some easy things, but have one or two things that are just stupid hard to get so that people that like archaeology have something to keep them busy for a while and something to be proud of as dedicated archaeologists. You know, like the, what is this thing? The Akir, my Ultramarine Karaji battle tank. That's an archaeology mount. I melted my face for that thing back in whenever it was that I got it, a while ago. But that thing was hard. However, I like it and I appreciate it because it was hard. I couldn't even tell you which toys were from archaeology and BFA because they were whatever. They were really easy to get. These days, especially with like the restored artifact system and the fact that you can have artifacts from the wrong dig type eventually count towards the one that you get, I don't see any reason not to put some really rare, like one or two really rare archaeology cosmetics, or at least a title or something so that people have something to work on. Grinding archaeology achievements lately. The time I farmed archaeology for Zinrock reminded me of why I never want to do archaeology again. So many Pandaria dig sites to get troll artifacts. Yeah. I feel like for that system, though, it's almost the point. The one thing I don't like is when they layer RNG. Like for the canopic jars that had the pattern for the canopic jars that had the pattern for the sandstone drake, you had RNG to get the jar, and then you had RNG to get the recipe from the jar, and then you had to buy the stuff. I don't like it when they layer RNG like that. I don't like it when it's a random chance to get a thing that has a random chance to give you a thing. I want one layer of RNG, make it as rare as you want, but I don't want my hope to be spiked when I'm not actually going to get the thing that time. Did I not win that pet battle? Did I miss it? More titles for random insane things. I think titles are a good pick because people are not as obsessive about collecting titles as they are about pets and mounts and things that have like, I guess you have a completion score on your, you have a completion score on Data for Azeroth or whatever, but oh, I only had 2 pets. Oops, Daisy do. That's no good. All right, well, we'll heal them before we do it this time. I still use the Innkeeper's Daughter as my Hearthstone. I kind of like that in Tome of Teleportation, there's this option that you can have to use a random Hearthstone. So it'll always show me a random Hearthstone for my toy box kit, because there's quite a few of them. I just recently got the Ventier Hearthstone, and I can only use it on Ventier characters still because I have not yet been a Renown 80 Ventier. But it's pretty cool. I like that you get like an actual little Sin Stone that rotates around you. I feel like it's more cinematic than the like the Ardenweald one or the Maldraxxus one. Okay, so I'm going to actually heal my battle pets. Am I going to heal my battle pets? Oh no, it's all falling apart. Oh dear me. There must be a stable master. The question is, as a non-Ventier, Ventier zone ability. Am I a Ventier? I don't think I'm a Ventier. I guess I could just wait. I don't have any bandages on this particular character. Certain level to do Darkmoon Fair quests. I want to say level 10. I think you can do Darkmoon Fair at level 10. I'm not 100% on that though. I'm so close, but all right, we're just gonna wait this out and then we're gonna heal our pets and we're gonna do it. I wonder, I feel like this one is one of the faster ones to do because it's pretty close to the wormhole port. I also, on my early characters, I have another quest or two I can teleport to them. I don't want to give up now because I'm too close. Sometimes the Innkeeper's Daughter actually shows up, then I have a Dwarf Ghost run for a minute. I thought it was all the time. Is it not all the time? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they did cross-faction stuff for a 10.0 feature. It would probably disappoint me a little bit if that was like a big thing and like the only big thing because it's less of a feature and more of a relaxed restriction, but it would be a pretty big deal for the game. I don't know. There we go. That's this stuff. All right, we're in it. Pet charm count. I'll update after this. I was in the 9800s. I was very close. Oh, they nerfed it. She didn't show for a while, and now there's a chance to get her. What a bizarre thing for them to nerf. You know what's wrong with this game is the Innkeeper's Daughter Ghost Dwarf Lady shows up too often when you use your Innkeeper's Daughter Hearthstone toy. Let's fix it. I think that after I get this pet, I'm probably taking a break from Pet Battle World Quest for a while. I guess maybe if I can use one to do a calling. They're a pretty easy way to get a calling world quest out of the way if you have all the teams and the script set up for them. Then maybe, but I don't see myself going out of my way to collect these for a bit after this. I can't believe I forgot to heal my pets before the last one. I'm losing it. Lag during Legion, same time they nerfed the Haunted Memento Ghost. Interesting. I remember the ghost thing, but the ghost thing would follow you around for a long time. transmog on this character. Part of me wants to clean up my alts. I guess their bags are pretty clean. I guess I just want to like get them leveled and then vendor all their stuff. Okay, so that's done. And now if I go back to like Snug Harbor, I can just heal my pets manually and then also mail off. So I have 9844. I have 9,844 polished pet charms. We're very close. Doing a reset of Omnibar right now. Such a slog every time. Got the baby Krog from Alchemy. Congrats. Love the stream. Never stop. I don't plan to. Although I will stop today eventually. This is longer than normal for me. I'm quite a bit over. I just especially like if tomorrow was a stream day, I probably would have just given up and left it for the next stream. But tomorrow's my day off, and I don't know if I have the self-control. I probably would have, but I don't know if I would have had the self-control to not do any pet dailies if I was just like a tiny bit off. So now her wormhole's gonna be on cooldown though. Boy can definitely port, I think. Boy, I think I trained his alchemy. At least you didn't have to have a Hearthstone in your bag anymore. I feel like I end up having a Hearthstone in my bag no matter what though. I feel like you don't have to. That one bag slot wasn't really ruining my life anyway. I feel like if the Hearthstone is the ever thing that is keeping my bags from, that is the problem, you know, it's between me and being able to loot something, I should probably clear up my bags. Boy, has to be the one. I mean, I think we're a few too many off. Although, well, let's see. Let's start by wormholing to Zandalar. And we'll fly to Snakes in a Terrace. I, for one, don't even like these streams. All these months have been subbed. Just a prank. Oh, man. I'm on board. Ooh, that's quite far. So that'll be another 19. And then in Shadowlands, you get another 20, 19, and then 17. The 17 is in Revendreth. I should have been doing this one in Maldraxxus. I just swear that Rotgut is a long fight. My script works fine for it. It just takes a while. Can't leave home without my Org port cloak, Garrison Stone, Dalaran Stone, Old Dalaran ring, sometimes 1 to 2 other ports. I remember when I thought that the Borealis teleport ring was going to be a big deal. I was so excited to farm up all the charms for it. To this day, that thing still, like I only have one on my Gnome Priest who isn't even my main anymore. And to this day, that thing still triggers a 30-second cooldown when you equip it. It doesn't, like a lot of the teleport items will bypass that and you can just put them on and then go. And for whatever reason, the Borealis teleport ring, and presumably the Dazar Lure one also, although I've never checked, it still has a cooldown on it. I guess I don't need to go back that much. So annoying, yeah. It's just, the thing that bothers me about it is it's just inconsistent. Like, I don't think that Blizzard means for there to be a cooldown on it. I think it just happened and nobody's gotten around to fixing it because everybody's busy. Which is fair, I understand that. I have plenty of areas in my own stuff that's set up that are not optimized because it's just not top of my list. But if they had come out, they'd said, you know, we don't want you to be able to get to Borealis that fast. We're giving you 30 seconds to think about your decisions. I wouldn't agree, but at least they would have. At least I would know it meant to be that way. But it's like a typo. It's just like, I just want to fix it. Way too min-maxing. I used to gold farm in dungeons. That one spot was too much wasted space. I remember the days of, I would run Strathholm because I was gold farming in there because the Mog was worth a fair amount, but I was also farming for the Strathholm mount at the time. I would run Strathholm and I would like try to optimize exactly how many runs I could do before my bags filled up. And then I would have to fly back out to Light's Hope Chapel because that was where the nearest mailbox was, because this is a pre-mailbox toy, that I could mail all of the transmog and stuff I'd picked up to my bank vault because I didn't want to vendor any of the transmog greens because they were worth so much. I don't know how many I ended up like ultimately selling. I felt like people were pretty understanding about the break from the news videos. I didn't get too much, nobody gave me too much of a hard time about that. A couple people asked, but I have put them out basically every Saturday for years, so taking 3 Saturdays off in a row was pretty unusual for me. They're back now. We're back. I'll get the background back one day. I probably could have done a news video, at least towards the end. I had enough time. There just wasn't any new news. I would have had to scrape, and I figured holiday. Trying to min-max strat clear time my Demon Hunter for that mount that I never use. I liked that one because I've always really liked the undead horses, and there's not that many of them. There's more now, but there's not that many undead horse models that you can use on Alliance. Because I guess I've just been trying to be an undead this whole time, even though I want to be Alliance. Yeah, they used to be almost Saturdays on Fridays because at the time, I lived in a house with people that worked Monday to Friday, and I wanted to record the video when people were at work so that I wouldn't have to record when people were home. So it originally was a Saturday video back when I lived in Canada last time, and then I moved it to almost Saturday so that I would have some privacy to record it. And then eventually I reverted to just Saturday again. I think because I, at the time, had my own office, and these days I just do whatever I want. But yeah, you're right. They were almost Saturday. I also called them vlogs for a long time because when they first started out, they were much more about me and my week, and they were less about the WoW news. And then at a certain point, I realized that most of what happened was WoW news, and that I could summarize what I've been up to in like a 30-second segment, and that would be good enough for those purposes. Especially these days that I have stream, I feel like if I want to monologue about a cooking thing I've been trying recently, I can do that on my live stream. I can tell, my cast iron pan stories and talk about waffles and whatever here. I don't need to combine that with the WoW news. Bunch of general tech and video game stuff. That's true. I think originally I had kind of modeled it off of back when Dodger used to do her gaming news. I really liked that. And then when she stopped doing it, I was kind of curious if I could do a similar thing, but that was like more WoW focused. I think the original WoW news videos were inspired by Dodger's gaming news, and then when Total Biscuit used to do his mail, he had like a mail show, and then he had a WoW news as well. Boy got an achievement. So originally modeled off of those. Definitely has evolved over time. Boy does not have a Shadowlands wormhole. Can Boy go back to Borealis there at least? There was one that was back to front raving about how excited you were for Mario Kart 8. Really? Oh no. That excitement didn't last all that long. How many pet charms am I at? 9863. That excitement did not make it very far. I had Mario Kart 8. I played it a handful of times. It was okay. I was never very good though. And I would get frustrated that I couldn't win. Yeah. That's funny. I make a point to not go back and watch those old, I can't go back and watch those old videos. Excited for Sombra and Overwatch? That's true. I used to be more into Overwatch. I used to do videos whenever Overwatch would release skin packs showing off the new skins. They're like the first couple of holiday skin packs they did, I would show off. And I also used to like buy loot boxes, or like sometimes with WoW balance. With WoW Gold, I would get balance and I would use it to buy loot boxes in Overwatch because I used to collect Overwatch skins back when I played Overwatch. But I hadn't... My Overwatch habit kind of went away when I started watching Overwatch League because I was like, why would I play when I can watch people that are good at this game play? And then Overwatch League kind of died for me between season 1 and 2. I watched the end of season 1 and then I never really got into the second season and I haven't watched it since. So now, Bastion. I wish TB could have seen the Space Marine 2 reveal. How many years later are we without Mario Kart 9 yet? To be fair, where is there left to go in Mario Kart? Are there future roads and developments? Is VR the next frontier? Am I going to... I'll do Bastion. It's for 20. Still going, just stepped out for a walk. Happy Sunday to us. I really want to get my 10K, and I'm at 9863 right now. I'm at 9863. So if Boy does 2 more, yeah, I can do it today. It's just gonna be a little bit of a late stream. Any videos that you pulled for whatever reason? Oh, I'm sure at some point. I I pulled my old Telltale game Let's Plays because they got copyright claimed because Telltale decided they didn't want YouTube content of their games, probably because it was too narratively direct. It's too close to a movie. There's not that many different things you can do in a Telltale game. So I had like a Wolf Among Us playthrough that I pulled. Yeah. For the script, you do have to press A every turn. Yeah. More interested in the PvE with Overwatch 2 than PvP. Yeah, I kind of fell completely out of... I don't know what they would have to do to get me back. I used to think that Hearthstone had completely lost me and could never get me back because I used to play Hearthstone like regular ranked and build decks and whatever. And whenever they came out with like a Hearthstone PvE adventure, I would mess with it and that was a lot of fun. I have some incredibly old video talking about how to do something or another, I don't know. But then, you know, I kind of, especially as it felt like the Hearthstone expansion packs came out faster than I could keep up with them. And I kind of gave up on trying to keep, every time I logged in, all my decks were wild decks all of a sudden because I hadn't played in enough months. And it just kind of got away from me. And I thought they would never get me back, but then they came out with Hearthstone Battlegrounds. And they ruined my life with that. So I play a lot of Hearthstone now, and I have for a while. I have a gross amount of time in it, but only Battlegrounds. And I don't know that they tried with Mercenaries, and I don't know. They can't. I'm a BG main now. Get triggered when doing a rewatch that I found out that Let's Play was lost to the ages. Yeah, Telltale's closed down now. Are they making a Wolf Among Us season 2? That's the kind of game that I enjoyed, I feel like, more in 2014 than I would these days. I think that I had more energy to try to enjoy any game. And these days I've come more to the understanding that there's certain types of games I really like, and there's other kinds of games that I just get sort of bored with. I really like crafting games. I like survival crafting games. I like WoW, obviously. I like Hearthstone Battlegrounds, which is not a survival crafting game. It's not a battler. But if I'm going to play a non-WoW game, most of the time these days, they're survival crafting games. When are we going to get an expansion announcement? Yeah, I don't know. Whenever they're ready. I have not tried Subnautica yet, much to Ujai's chagrin. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but you know what I mean. However, I did make the big step yesterday of adding it to my Steam wish list. So if it does go on sale, then I will get a notification. WoW's the game I enjoyed in 2014. Yeah, me too. I'm still having fun though. Look at this rotten little helper with a stick with a nail through it. That's kind of gruesome. Survival crafting, can't help but recommend RimWorld again. That one I haven't played. It might be on my wish list. I've been playing Craftopia. I put another couple hours into it last night. It's interesting in that the crafting is wild. I just made a generator that it's got a little hamster wheel attached to it, and to make batteries, either you run in the wheel, or you can capture an animal, kind of like a Pokemon. You can capture an animal, and you can put the animal in the wheel to run for you. However, the wheel is kind of a death trap. The animal will continually fatigue itself until it dies, and there's no way to save the animal. You don't, like, rotate them and give them, you know, days off and hazard pay or anything like that. You put a cow in the wheel, and it runs until it dies, and then it turns into milk and meat. Gruesome. But this game has crazy crafting, and it's quite cool, and like, you know, you've got like interesting combat. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild meets, I don't know, a crazy crafting game. You know, you can like automate stuff. You can do kind of factory automation stuff as well. But something about my character, or I don't know, I feel like I'm lacking a goal. I don't feel terribly connected to whatever I'm doing in it. Ducky313, thank you for the 3-month resub. Subnautica's fun. I hope you don't have a fear of the big deep ocean. I don't yet, but I think Subnautica might introduce one to me. I haven't played Raft lately. I have my fingers crossed that one day the Raft team will just release a crazy update and I'll want to start over again, because I like Raft a lot. I just basically did everything that I was gonna do. The hamster wheel game is Craftopia. Craftopia. I bought it on sale in the Steam Winter Sale. There's a lot of things you can do in Craftopia. I would recommend it. It was pretty good. It's in early access, but it's been pretty stable for me so far. The problem with Craftopia is that you unlock things so fast that it fries my brain. Like, the game does a good job of like, if you see, oh, I want to craft this thing, these are the materials, this is the workbench you need, this is where you can get all the stuff. But it just unlocks so quickly that it's just wild. Like you just, you know, it's so hard for me to keep track of my goals. It's I don't know. Last I remember, I had wanted to figure out the battery thing, and I'm growing wheat so that I can make flour, so that I can age my flour into bioethane that I can combine with my cogwheels and my batteries. Like, I'm trying to make machines now. The automation aspect of it scares me a lot because I laid down a conveyor belt and then I accidentally conveyed my well into the middle of the earth and then it had to respawn. The game yelled at me. Because conveyor belts move things. And I feel like I just want to slow down and sit quietly for an hour and just figure out how it works and what I want to do. But like, I'm unlocking things so fast that I don't know what I want to do. It's too much. I'm getting too old for games. I do like Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. I feel like I prefer Don't Starve alone though. Factorio with less steps. Yeah, the house flipper game was fun, but the house flipper game made me quite motion sick, actually. Might like Ark? Lots of dinosaur babies, boathouses. I bought Ark. My problem was that I wanted to play Ark on a server with nobody else on it, and that would have meant hosting my own server, and I got kind of confused because I'm not great with that area of technology. I don't know a whole lot about networking and servers. So I would have had to either pay to host one or do a bunch of stuff. So I ran around in somebody else's public Ark server for a while, and then I got eaten by a dinosaur that was much too high level for me, and then I gave up. In Animal Crossing, wheat makes delicious cinnamon muffins. I played an ungodly amount of Oxygen Not Included. What's that? Hosting your own server just sounds twice as fun as playing the game normally. You can play Ark solo. I wanted to play with Flabby though. We both bought it. We were gonna do like a shared playthrough. I don't know how to play Animal Crossing New Horizons, been avoiding it. Oh no! There's no wrong way to play Animal Crossing New Horizons. You just log in and you see what you want to do. If you're looking for tips, my old tips video will still help you out, but you get stuff that you like and you put stuff that you like on your house and your island. It's the same developer. Oh, it's a Clay Entertainment game? Oh. What do you do? I have not tried Timberborn. I've seen it though. It's on my Steam wish list. It's the Beaver Village one, yeah. It looked a bit like it looked like a city building sim, which is a game that, like, at first I was like, it's you make a beaver village. This would be really funny to stream. And then I looked more at the gameplay and I'm like, this would not be that fun to stream. This is probably not a terribly watchable game. Space survival physics sim, interesting. Oh, I need to do Tormentors of Torghast. There's one that I need that's up now. Man, I guess I can do that. I didn't think I would still be streaming an hour after my normal end time. How am I doing on pet charms? We're up to 9902. I need less than 100 more. Less than 100 left to go. Flash Telly. So I'm gonna take her. Darn it, she doesn't have a Shadowlands one. We go back to I want to port her to Borella so that her wormhole can cool down. Yeah, no, I'm not going to give up now. I am going to go do that Tormentors before it goes away. I know I have a minute or two, though, before it starts, so I'm going to get her a Shadowlands wormhole, and then I am going to use it. I'm going to get her a Shadowlands wormhole, and I'm going to use it to go to Bastion, and then I'm going to log off and go do Tormentors. So we go Stormwind, Ouroboros, because I think this character has already... Oh, no, she needs to do the Leader's Fate, but that's okay. That's easy enough. You can share the solo game with friends, may just be LAN? Oh, okay. What is that add-on? I have Tome and Teleportation, which combines all my different teleports. That might be the one. I can't give up. 9,902. What happened to your cat? She's in bed still. She's fine. Nothing's happened to her. She's, I haven't set up my office yet, so I decided not to unpack the pet cam just yet because sometimes she does hang out here, but not often enough for it to be worth having the camera. It would just be a lot of nothing cam for the moment. So we head straight to Orbos. I feel bad for the cat because she's just gotten settled in. She's just started to like get all of her new routines, and she's been, you know, hanging out with me out in the front room, and she seems finally like pretty settled in. And then as soon as I get all my furniture, I'm going to move everything again. She hates it when I move furniture. She likes learning the layout of a place and does not like it when I change things. So she's gonna have to learn it one more time, and I'm hoping to apologize to her with a comfy couch that she can sleep on. She enjoys sleeping on the backs of couches. I've also ordered her a cat tree, which should be here eventually. It's been delayed. And I don't know how long it'll take to get here, but eventually, soon, hopefully. Okay, so we do that, and then we can wormhole to Bastion, and then we can log off. Yeah, she's pretty settled in, although she's gonna be mad when I change things. Bastion. Bastion. No, Kitty's fine. That's just a photo of her tucked under a blanket. She's taking a nap. She enjoys being inside of blankets because she gets cold and she likes to be not cold. But she's not great at getting under them herself, so that's the one thing that she requests human assistance for the most, is lifting up blankets so that she can crawl underneath them. Okay, so I'll remember that I was on Ripsy. Because I gotta go do this tormentor real quick, because then I'll only have 2 tormentors left before my achievement. How does she feel if the blanket goes over her head? Totally fine. She will sleep an entire night completely under a blanket, and I don't know how she breathes. She also sometimes likes to sleep with her face planted firmly down, face down on a like a couch or a pillow or something. Again, I don't know how she breathes. Oh, look at all these pet charms. She likes doing that. Yay, Cracker! Thank you for the 15-month resub. I mostly had the blanket off of her head because I thought it was cuter for the picture. I'm sure she would prefer if it was all the way over. I'm going to the Maw to do Tormentress of Torghast. Boston Terrier does the same. I worry about her because she has like this teeny tiny little nose. It feels like it wouldn't be that hard for her to block it with a pillow or something, and she just like completely face down plants it. Most pets I know, secondhand, can't stand having their face covered. My rats like to sleep with their faces buried. I don't know how they do it either. Yeah, I don't know. But seems fine. Pre-made custom find a group tormentors. Anybody doing tormentors? War mode off. Yes, please. All right, where is it today? Looks like it is. Ooh, down there. Begins in 53 seconds. So I need to get to. Let's actually cipher to Venari. That'll be faster. We can cipher and then we can shard hide. Got Sid the Squid. Congratulations. Cat sleeps with his face smushed into the couch. Okay, and then if I shard hide whistle, we should be able to sprint right on over. Probably in the door of Perdition Hold. I'm not thrilled about it, but I guess other people are doing it too. I probably could have teleported there. But yeah, Manifestation of Pain is the one that's up, and that's one of the 3 that I still need. I need this one, Intercessor Razram, and then Golmak. Once it's down to like this point where we only have like a couple more left to do, it seems pretty reasonable to actually look up when they're gonna spawn. And like set reminders and stuff. Excuse me. Coming through. Excuse. So, Tormentor's minions. I just need to get all the way over there. I'm gonna just try and book it. Oh no, is it not? It's on the outside, isn't it? Oops. It's okay, I can come out the gate. Oh, am I out of combat? I am out of combat. I don't know why. All right, it's fine. Everything's fine. I've made some poor choices. I still hate them all. I have made my peace with many places in Shadowlands, but this is probably one of the places that I have made the least peace with. Especially when I decide to go the absolute worst possible way to get somewhere. I hope I don't miss it. If I miss it, I can hopefully join just a new group. Shard hide whistle another 3 minutes. Oh, thank you. There we go, it's down there. Mazo cage outside a perdition hold. Cats have a heated throw blanket. They love it. All right, we tagged it. We're good. Ooh, lag. Lots of people. It's not just your screen. My frame rate sucks too right now. 5 seconds too late for it. Yeah, that would have been rough. I appreciate nobody giving me a hard time about running literally all the way through Perdition Hold when I did not have to. Hopefully I've learned that lesson now. We'll see. Okie doke. Here we go. And then she can just go home. And now I only have 2 left for the achievement. Yes. I do have the Shardhide Whistle. Yep. I used it to get myself halfway into Perdition Hold. Or, well, at least towards there. And then that was the end of that. Okay. 9902. So there's back to Ripsy. Was tempted to give you a hard time about it. Just kind of did. It was pretty awful. I had no excuses for that. I love mind games. Favorite Covenant ability. I appreciate that mind games is straightforward. It's hard to mess up. You pretty much just press it and then good job, you've done something, you know? And then it also is great in that it's a long enough cooldown that it doesn't annoy you all the time. It doesn't feel like you're constantly having to babysit it. But it's also a short enough cooldown that I'm not stressed about finding the perfect time to use mind games, you know? I pretty much just wing it off whenever I remember that I have it up. Unfortunately, it's not really BIS for much aside from PvP. Regardless of the power numbers, favorite Covenant aesthetic. Probably Kyrian, which surprised me because when they first announced them at Shadowlands, I thought Kyrian was the most boring one, and I thought that Ventier was like the really cool one. But the zone is just so gorgeous, and then the all the mounts and whatnot kind of caught up with me. After, like they grew on me, that this is my favorite one by far. The Druid Night Fae one's super fun. I still have to try that. I gave my Kultiran Druid Night Fae so that she could convoke, and I don't know that I've pressed the button yet. Bastion, I think, is probably, to me, one of the prettiest zones they've ever done. I'm a sucker for flowers, waterfall, and droopy trees, and I think that the whole color palette of the zone is just so pretty and, like, cohesive, you know? It doesn't feel like a real place, but it's the afterlife. It didn't have to feel like a real place.
Allow me to help. Goodbye, my friend.
I have not finished all of the Path of Ascension achievements. And, oh, no, I need to heal my pets. And I may never do so. I may never do it. She has band-aids, good. We can save it.
Back to work.
Bastion feels sterile. I'd like to live in a little cottage somewhere in Ardenweald. To me, something about Ardenweald feels a little too Disney or a little too blue. And I know that Bastion's pretty Disney also. But, I don't know. The eyes on the deer are just a little too cute. I don't think Shadowlands has any proper beaches. Kind of disappointing. You had your hairstyle to match. Yeah, Bastion's quite bright. For some reason, it doesn't bother me the same way that snowy zones do. To this day, I try not to hang out too much in Dragonblight because just the sheer amounts of white snow, I feel like, kind of hurt me with the blue light. I feel like Bastion is bright, but it's warm enough that it doesn't bother me too much. I know that you can get add-ons for your computer that like change the color tones of stuff to make them warmer, to make them easier in your eyes, but I always forget that I have those, and then I don't account for them when I'm color grading stuff, and then I make all my footage weird. So I don't use anything like that anymore. Left dorm, went to student hall, ate food. You're still streaming? I know, I've gone a little long today. I'm I would say close to being finished. I'm under 100, less than 100 pet charms left to go. So I can't stop now, you know? I just cleared 9,900 of 10,000. We really trucked today. We got, if I get this today, it will be 800 pet charms in one day with enough alts and with good, like a good spread of dailies. I don't think I could have done this if there was just like 2 dailies and there were 14 each. Having good dailies makes a huge difference, but. Okay, and then I can heal them up. Can I wormhole again, or is it still on cooldown? Shadowlands, 5 minutes left in the Shadowlands wormhole, okay. She has, yeah. I'm just gonna mail it off, and then next character.
Be seeing you.
Gonna make it. I am gonna make it. It just means that I'm starting my lunch waffles kind of late. Excited though. I bought this waffle iron, and so far the only thing that I did was grill a sandwich in it. And then think of all the possibilities. Next week, we start some fresh streams. We could do anything. What do I want to do? I don't know yet. That's a later me problem. What kind of waffle? Not Belgian waffles. My recipe from my mom makes, I think it's the King Arthur flour recipe. And it makes like these really fluffy light waffles. And then I have like a standard waffle iron that I've just gotten. And then I want to make some, I want to chop up some fruit and then basically pile up some waffles with some fruit. So I want to go to Vol'dun. Arena? Didn't think so. Yeah, probably not. Although you really never know. Neria, thank you for the 24-month resub. Happy 2 years. Been lurking in your VoD since the early YouTube streaming days. Thought I'd finally stop by live and say hi. Happy for you to finally be back home. Thank you so much. Sounds lovely. It's a great way to eat more fruit without actually making anything terribly healthy. It does mean a few more dishes, but I'm just gonna have to. It's like 2 bowls. It's like 1 bowl. It'll be easy. It'll be fun. I am deeply satisfied. I brought all of my various containers that I use to store stuff like flour and sugar and whatever, like refillable like snap lock containers. I need to get 1 or 2 more because I don't have one for powdered sugar and I can't stand measuring powdered sugar out of a bag. But I feel all fancy. They don't all match. I don't have like one of those matching pantries with like the identical, you know, cylindrical containers that look all cute and stuff. But it's nice being able to just take out like my big thing of flour and then not have to worry about spilling every time I unfold the bag. Philora, thank you for the brandy sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I wonder if I want to do, probably some kind of collecting. I need anima to do all kinds of covenant stuff, but that's not as fun. The thing that was fun about the pet charm grind, I know it was kind of like a single focused grind, but at least it was, you know, clear. I wanted one thing, so I'm getting the one currency so I can get the one thing. Maybe I work on rarity next. Maybe I work on rarity. You know, I pick another pet. What's Blinky from? Oh, Blinky's a shop pet. I don't have that one yet. Or I was gonna check to see what Sharpclaw was selling for, because I don't really want to farm it. Or, you know, camping the scurrying mall rat, that kind of thing. Ooh, I could start working in Family Exorcist. I guess it depends on whether I want to do pet stuff for a while. How close are we to 10K? Pretty close. Pretty close. Future Hazelgull, matching Tupperware. Maybe. I feel like as long as my existing stuff works for me, I want to keep it as long as it works. The type of Tupperware that you store leftovers in, I tend to burn through every now and then, especially if I've been freezing it, because it just kind of gets weaker over time, and then you like lose the lids or something cracks. I am notorious for dropping things out of the freezer because they get slippery and then breaking them. But if it's just like a container that stores flour at room temperature, they don't really warp for me, and you can kind of use them forever. I may as well keep it. All right, current pet charm count is 9,941. 9,941. Do I have a Shadowlands Hearthstone? I do not. However, I can go get one. Could try farming Sir Snips. I feel like if I was gonna do that, which I won't, but if I was gonna do that, and I was just trying to grind honor, you probably get a set of PvP gear for like a BM hunter, and then you become a battlegrounds hero. You know, you just go spam BGs and RBGs and whatever. So she's gonna go to Stormwind and then Ouroboros. I could also, I'm trying to figure out what the fastest ones to get to are. I guess the fastest thing to do is probably to forget these Shadowlands ones and to just slam that one that I just did, the Snakes on a Terrace, for 19 pet charms. If I do that, you know, 3 more times, maybe 4 more times, then I will be done. But if I do, I get experience. I get a little bit of experience when I do these Shadowlands ones. Small set of glass Tupperware is good to have. I tend to go through the plastic quickly. A lot of TCG mounts. A good amount, yeah. A good amount. I bought them in WoD. SO Potato 4, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I did get the book mount. I did. I've been riding it around in a bunch of characters, but a few of these characters I was still last using back when we farmed this thing, so they still have it keybound. Oh, man. More water, starting to get a headache. I missed WoD. Didn't realize late how big a deal that was for my mount collection. They're tough because they're only getting rarer because they don't produce the cards anymore. So as expensive as they are now, I guess maybe sometimes they hit the black market auction house, so I guess a few are being produced in that way. But by and large, they are not getting any cheaper. The ones that I'm missing, I'm pretty much resigned to not getting them. I feel like I have enough. I'm never gonna have like a top world mount collection, but I can have like a relatively high for my immediate group of friends mount collection. That's good enough for me. So now we can go Wormhole Bastion. Dope looking canteen. Thank you. I like my iron flask. It is I need to give the lid like a good thorough detailing though. Bastion. I like having even though I'm at home, I actually don't own any water glasses. I have mugs for tea and coffee and whatever, but I don't own water glasses because I am too prone to knocking them over. I don't let myself use water glasses anymore. I keep a thing with a lid, so if I knock this over, I'm not gonna break it and it's not gonna spill. The worst thing that it can do is dent my flooring because it's a big old metal bottle. But for years, I've just kept a water bottle with me at all times, even when I'm at home, you know, in my own apartment, just because I can't spill it and I can't break it. Yeah, it can do both cold and warm. I've only ever used it for cold, but it's insulated. You wouldn't want to dishwasher it for that reason, but I just hand wash it in the sink. It's basically the same thing as any Hydro Flask, or I don't think the brand wildly matters as long as they're doing a half-decent job at making them. I just like the Iron Flask ones because they had the different colors like the gradients, and I like the gradient color. Settled for short and wide water glasses. Probably not a bad move. Especially now with my smaller desk, but just in general, I just forget where my hands are. I just can't be trusted to not backhand over a glass that I've like forgotten exists. Need water to be quite cold before I bother drinking it. That is one thing that's good about these. I don't do cold water very often, but if I do want it to be cold, I chuck a couple ice cubes in here, and then your water will be cold for like a day because of the insulation in them. The trick is to find ice cubes that fit in the rim of them, but that's just because I have huge ice cubes. For whatever reason though, I almost all the year only drink room temperature water. I do the countertop Brita filter, and that's my thing. I don't know that it's any better or worse for my health, it's just what I prefer to drink. Tall, thin iron flask, so it fits in my home bike rack. That's the struggle with this one, is that this thing is too chunky on the bottom. I don't know why I just did that. It's too chunky on the bottom to fit into a cup holder in a car. So I actually, I had been pretzeling for a while and my legs almost didn't work on me. I actually got one in the identical color, but like a narrower one, so that if I was taking water with me in the car, I could have one to drive with, because I don't like not having water handy. I don't know. Chunky boy. Never thanked you for introducing me to Iron Flask. Ordered one halfway around the world. Changed my life. Oh dear. I'm a little nostalgic looking at it. I gotta put the car water bottle away. I'm a little nostalgic looking at it. I miss my last card. I sold it before I left, and it was the correct decision. But it was my first car. It was so good. It was small. I could park anywhere. I gotta try and get another small one. How are we doing pet charm wise? We have another 40 left to go, but I did use my wormhole. So what we do is we do this. Groups, mail them off.
Very good.
I think that if I log on to some of my top level characters, I could do one more round of the Bastions. Trying to think of the fastest way to do this. Like 3 world quests? Yeah, 3. I think it's 3. So if I log on to, I think it's gonna be 2 characters no matter what I do, just because of the cooldowns. Let's go on her and port her to No, she did the Maldraxxus one, I think. Did she? Because her Hearthstone's set to Maldraxxus. I'll figure it out. I'll find these pet charms somewhere. Don't worry. It's a good time to sell cars. Yeah, it's a good time to sell cars and a bad time to buy cars. But the problem is sometimes you need to buy a car. And it's the same thing with the housing market. Is people talk for ages about how, oh no, it's not a good time to buy. It's not a good time to buy. It's like, well, you know, sometimes that's not your only factor behind whether or not you should buy. Plus, if things are going up in price, you never know when they're going to stop going up in price, which might mean that there might not be a better time for a while. It's impossible to say. It's frustrating. I'm checking my map. So there is one in Revendreth, but there's not one in Maldraxxus for me. So she's going to wormhole to Revendreth. First card didn't have reverse in the last couple of years of its life. Pardon me? It didn't go backwards? How did you park? You only ever like pull in and then pull out of places? That's fun. Where are you going to Revendreth? My legs got strong. It was a light car. Oh, wow. It's like unbinding your S key. I'm imagining you like circling parking lots only looking for spots that you can pull through and then, or like pull into so you can then pull out of them. But, yeah. Wow. No backpedaling. That's excellent. That'll make me feel better when I'm looking at stuff. Park on a hill, put in neutral to slowly back out. Oh boy. That annoying anima power from Torghast IRL. I mean, it depends on which one you mean. If we're talking about the not jumping one, I try to avoid jumping in my car, if I have a chance to. You know, if I've gotten air, I've probably done something wrong.
You make me miss my mortal body.
Parking required strategy. Are we all ready for the Hazel content phase where I start driving monster trucks? You know they do the thing in the big dirt pit with the ramp and they're just like driving over each other for no discernible reason? Oh man. Put on some real tough jeans and a flannel and get in there. Giant squirrel printed on it, yeah. I had to start a car on a ferry. Most embarrassing moment of my life. Oh dear. Front row. Those events look fun, but quite loud, and also, I still don't really understand. Mind you, I've never sat and watched one all the way through. I've only ever like seen clips of them in movies and stuff. How does a car win? Is it like wrestling, where one car pins the other car, and then the bottom car has to tap out? You know? Is it whoever's car gets the dirtiest the faster, and if so, does that mean you win or you lose? I drove 6 hours to pick it up. It was used low kilometers, real cheap. Small towns may have good prices. Doing backflips on a scrambler? How does the car tap out? That's what I want to know. You just keep flipping open the gas cap or the little the door on it. Oh dear. Okay, so that's as many as this character can do. 9978. Did she do the Zandalar one already? No. Okay, so let's do a Zandalar wormhole then. A third referee car honks its horn 3 times and you're out. The winning car is the one that's still able to move. Oh, so they break them. Well, that seems silly. I guess they do that with people too, so it's better a car than a person, but I don't know. Oh dear. So I need exactly 22 more pet charms. This one's going to give me 19. So yeah, I will need to do 1 more pet charm world quest after this one. Which means I'm going to need to log on to 1 more character and do it. People just like seeing stuff getting smashed. I relate to a point. I can't stop imagining a car popping its wheel up and down to tap out. Then there's 19 pet charms to splurge with. That's true. I'll be rich. Can't wait for the day I start my stream. Sup, guys? I'm Hazel, and I'm here to tell you that today I bought a monster truck. Welcome to the squirrel tank. It's just got like the most gigantic wheels that you've ever seen in your life. They're like painted orange to look like acorns. Baldoon's so pretty. Glad something came out of it with Volpera. Can Boy be the one to finish it? Boy probably has another daily he can do. I betcha Boy's wormholes on cooldown, but that's it. Yeah, we can probably log on Boy. Did I do Boy on all of them? I might have given up if it was gonna take a wormhole cooldown, because there's 3 Shadowlands quests. I think I haven't really been doing the Maldraxxus one, and that one does give pet charms, so I could do it. I'm only 2 pet dailies away from getting to give up on pet dailies for a while. Oh boy, every time I think that I'm done with pet charms though, there's always something else. I think next time I might just grow them passively through the mission board. I don't know if I would do this again. Do BFA quests give decent experience? Some, yeah. This character's already level 60. If you want to level through Pet Battle World Quest, you're better off in Shadowlands World Quest and Threads of Fate though. Stream promotions in the car, you could write it off as a business expense. Yeah. I don't know if I want my car doxing me though. You just see it parked in my, you know, like the apartment parking complex and you're like, huh, I guess Hazel lives here. Give it enough Horde ult, give them some love. The Horde characters are really rough to move around. I guess they could probably get here. I kind of want to see if Boy can do it. The guy who sold me my car in 2019 calls me weekly begging to buy it back. Oh dear. Oh dear. Those would not be fun phone calls to get. Sold 3 worms by doing missions and 15-ish alts, leveling all my alts through pet battles. You couldn't send it over to Alliance. You can, actually. Because they're account bound, you can send them cross-server and cross-faction because polished pet charms are Blizzard account bound. Everything else you can't do. Yeah. 3 new pets, 20k each. Limited time. Oh no. Oh man, imagine if they pulled a Brutosaur and they took something like this off the vendor. Oh boy. That would be something. Am I almost done? Okay. So impatient. It's sunny outside. I can feel the world calling. Tomorrow's my day off, and I have big plans to... What do I have big plans to do? I was gonna mop my floor. That's not very exciting. I must have something more exciting than that. Maybe I'll get out for like a big walk. Maybe I'll go try to buy a teapot. I wanted to... Okay. So we take her home. We mail off the charms. I was very surprised when I found out that I can't send things from Lightbringer to Tichondrus. Spend more time with Calvin. I do need to do something else with Calvin. I wanted to roast some potatoes in him. I got some little potatoes and I want to do a thing. I was Googling it. Get it for a big walk. Okay, mail that off. I need to do 1 more pet charm world quest. Unless is my mission done? What if my mission was done? Available? No. That would be too easy. Boys in Bastion. That makes me think that we could wormhole into Revendreth. Does Calvin need friends? I think that I'm at a pretty good cookware equilibrium right now in that I think I have pretty much what I need. I think that I have either purchased or ordered all of the kitchen stuff that I need for the foreseeable future. The only other thing aside from a teapot that I would consider would be a set of 8-inch bamboo steamers, but that's like a later me problem. I've got enough to worry about without making dumplings for the moment. So take me to Maldraxxus. I guess I could also do the Revendreth one. That's faster, probably. We'll do the Revendreth one. The dealership I got the beetle from did the same thing once my lease was up. They don't make them anymore, so the offers were very generous, but I said no. I love my beetle. Need, sure, how about want, though? The thing with Calvin that I appreciate about him is that he's unique in my home. I have the one cast iron pan, and honestly, he lives on my stovetop. I clean him, I dry him off, I dry him out on my burner, and then I just leave him there until the next time I need him, because I don't see any good reason to put him in a cupboard. If I had more than one of them, then somebody's going to have to live in a cupboard. Get calls all the time from my old Ford Ranger. Imagine a teeny tiny little Calvin cast iron pan. People have them, I'm sure, like mini ones, but I feel like I got a pretty universal size. He's like a 10-inch-ish pan. He'll do. He'll work. Got the Ivory Cloud Serpent finally. She's a fast little thing. Congrats. The Maldraxxus one, it's awful. Yeah. They're just long. Recommended teams, it's so RNG. I feel like I haven't gotten wrecked by the RNG on it in a while, but it's just, even with my script, I feel like I'm just there pressing the button for a long time. The kind of cast iron pan precisely the size of one sunny side up egg. I do kind of miss my tiny non-stick one. I didn't keep it because the non-stick coating was quite scratched, so I didn't want to keep cooking with it. But I used to have a pan that was like this big. It was like a teeny tiny little non-stick fry pan. And it was perfect because you would put one egg into it and it would become like a perfectly cute little adorable sunny side up egg if you cooked it with a lid on. That looked exactly like play food from like children's kitchen cook set toys. And it looked like a little fake egg, and it was so cute to put on one piece of toast. I would have that for my breakfast. I've been trying to get an egg for the double-headed skeleton dragon mount. Pardon? Oh, the flayed wing, the callow flayed wing. I haven't started farming that one yet. This thing, I did not understand. One egg won't do. I'm bulking. I've upgraded to 2 eggs and 2 pieces of toast. The 1 egg was fine if I was having breakfast at 8 and I needed to be hungry again for lunch at noon. But I've been doing more in my days lately, and I've upgraded to 2 eggs. I'm done. So I got a hearth somewhere that has a mailbox. Oh, I had 10k charms? You'll see. How many mounts do I have? A bunch. 655 in my account, 579 that this particular warlock can use. Alright, so we mail off the charms. And we make sure, yeah, Boy is the only one other than Hazeline that has any. Yeah. If I could have one mount IRL? I mean, having a friend dragon seems nice, but it's also probably more inconvenient if you think about it. I don't think I can really, like, hide it in my bathroom or anything. Imagine having a giant cat, like a panther, but you can ride it around on highways like a car. But then you can also take naps with it like a cat. Okay, so now we go to Oribos. We can just wormhole there. Sky Golem for grocery shopping. The golden ox and melt it down. You would melt down your flying ox for gold? I don't know if that's a good proposition. Oribos. Obviously the Brutosaur. Shaman class mount. Flying book would be pretty cool. Plus then you could probably store it when not in use. Why am I thinking about what's the least likely to get me arrested for flying around in the sky? I have some idea that like the flying police are going to be like, excuse me, you're unauthorized. You should take this dragon out of the sky immediately. Not because it's a dragon, but because I don't have a license for it. I'm going to So it's the Hall of Curiosities. Actually, first I need to stop by my bank because that's where the rest of my charms are. Maybe I can spend them out of the bank, but I want to look at them. I want to make a big old pile of my polished pet charms, and I want to view them before I spend them all.
May I tempt you with my wares?
Here we go. 1,000, 2,000, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've been saving this up for like a year, right? 8, 9, 10. But mostly in 2 big bursts of a couple weeks at a time. Yeah. You can. I got 800 of them today, so I could have done this in 2 weeks if I'd really pedaled to the metal it, but it's beautiful. And then there's the extra 14 right there.
Your patronage is always appreciated.
Double the same trinket in the bank? Yeah. I have 2 gazing eyes of Seath. Or unblinking gaze. Because, you know. So they're not lonely. Are we ready? They're so beautiful. They take up so many bag slots. It's hello, excuse me.
You, I
Very,
offer
very rare,
only
very
advice.
valuable. 1 flawless amethyst bauble worm, please. Thank you.
Until our next transaction.
All right, let's get this thing out. Narnian, thank you for the 19-month reset. Are you a stable master? Can you heal my pets? No? Okay. Oh, yeah. I will name it, but I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to name it yet. It'll come to me. I want it to be my own idea. Although I haven't decided yet. It kind of matches my set. Or at least it's got some purple. So. Nice big push to finish. Learning that pet didn't pop an achievement, right? So here, we're going to RP walk. And we're just going to kind of do laps. And I'm going to wait for the thing to happen. Because the thing will eventually happen. I know it will. Also, we can also kind of flex the the Shadow Priest Mage Tower set. Plus the Kyrian Path of Ascension Wings. We're looking good. Yeah, not even a rarity pop. No, because it's not a drop. It's a vendor buy. Looks like 10k charms. Yeah, I feel like if you want to do the intro flexing, you do this, you put yourself on the book mount. Yeah, worm pet and book mount. I want to see the rainbow effect, even though I know exactly what it looks like because I have the bauble toy. But I want to see the rainbow. I want to see the rainbow. So I'm waiting for it. It'll happen eventually. I don't know how often it does. The book ain't nothing compared to SST? Name it Skittles? SST? Yeah, we bought it just a minute ago. I'm still waiting for it to buff me. Excuse me. Oh, Swift Spectral, yeah. I do have a Swift Spectral, that's true. Are people still impressed by the Swift Spectral Tiger, though? All I did was save up 1,000,000 gold and buy it off a guy in Warlords. To be fair, it was a lot of gold at the time, but it's not like I conquered markets for it. I was running alt through mission tables. They're more impressed now than ever. Buff me. You can do it. Come on, bud. Oh, it looked like it was thinking about it. It didn't do it, though. There's like a chat emote that'll happen, too. I'm tempted to cheat with the bauble, but I won't do it. I wonder how often it does the thing. I would tab out and look it up, but then it'll do it while I'm not looking. Life's work. Yeah, I feel like Mage Tower is the most impressive thing that I currently have because it was recent and because it was probably the most difficult thing I've done in a while. Poke it. Does it have to be standing still? I don't think so. Getting whispers for the book mount? Where'd you get that? Yeah, the book mount's definitely like a nice combo of hard to get but also quite unique. Come on, Skittles, do the thing! Glad I made it to see it. I wanted to be walking so that I could see the trail when he did the thing. You would think it would be, I guess if it's too often, then it gets spammy, right? But I would assume that a few minutes. Does the pet need to be level 25 to do it? I don't think so. I don't think I'm officially naming it Skittles. I haven't decided yet. It's a good name. It's also a brand name, though. Allegedly every 2 minutes. Okay. I would level it with an upgrade stone, but... How'd you get 800 charms so fast? We did a lot of dailies today. Plus, I streamed like an extra almost 2 hours over. We've been here for a while. Chance to proc every 2 minutes. I don't think that walking is preventing the proc. There's no way that it won't proc if you're walking, right? You know, yeah, I don't have the charms for a leveling stone. That's true. I think every now and then he's like stopped for a second, but then not done anything. And I wonder if that's when he had a chance to do it and then it rolled that he didn't do it. Or maybe that's just me getting too far ahead of him. And I'm just reading way too much into it. Maybe you're interrupting his cast while walking. All right, we'll camp. We'll find a nice spot and we'll sit. Do the thing. I'd say it's pretty. The bobbleworm model is pretty. These particular colors I find kind of... I get that it's gold and it's like rare and that's the point. We did it. Yeah. Yeah, I went quite late. I'm at this point just waiting for it to buff me. I wanted to see the buff and it's being a little stubborn about it. You know, our new buddy is oh, it did it. Oh yeah. So the chat macro says gems glitter, flawless amethyst bobbleworms, gems glitter with a multicolored light, and then it puts like a tiny little buff on you. Doesn't last very long. It's the same rainbow trail buff. That's it. That's what it does. Yeah. Worth 10,000? Up to you. I got it. I'm gonna put him on my bar. I'll level him up at some point. He's a, what type of pet is he? He's a magic, he's a beast. Oh, I don't have any extra beast stuff handy. Step away for a second, I miss it. I can simulate it. There's the chat macro, the multicolored light, and then we can pretend. There we go. It's this buff, but for a shorter amount of time, but randomly while the pet's summoned. Although this one looks sparklier, to be honest. I don't remember the sparkles. You can cage him, yeah. Yeah, I thought it would be a magic pet too. I'm kind of surprised that it's a beast. Okie dokie. All right, I am finished. Thank you very much for watching. I will not be back tomorrow. Mondays are my sacred day off. You shall not hear from me, but I shall be back on Tuesday. Tuesday morning, and we get to start our lives and do something else. I don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.